Baseball Super Regionals presented by Capital One. We're in Durham, North Carolina, or Pollywood as Duke fans are calling it. Chris Pollard and Duke, one win away from their first trip to Omaha since 1961. But Murray State is here, and the Racers are ready for a fight in their first Super Regional appearance. For years to come, Duke baseball fans very well may call yesterday the Kyle Johnson game. He was remarkable. Almost single-handedly led the Blue Devils to a 7-4 Game 1 win. He was 4 for 4 at the plate, a homer, a couple of doubles, and drove in 5. We'll see what impact he makes today in a different role. Hi again, everybody. Alongside Greg Olson, I'm Clay Matvick. It's great to have you with us. You know, Johnson was amazing yesterday, Greg, but after that fourth hit, felt some cramps, had to leave the game. Had an IV last night, feels much better today. Won't be in the lineup as a hitter, but he'd be on the mound and could be devastating to these Murray State hitters.
Yeah, he's got a real chance to just completely take over this regional, the Supers. He pitched last week. He hadn't been in the rotation. He'd been in the bullpen for part of the season, trying to get him built back up. Had a little bit of arm issues early. And last week at Athens, 5 innings, threw very well. That gets him this Game 2 start.
Well, the reason he was in the lineup yesterday was because of center fielder A.J. Gracia serving a 1-game suspension. He is back from that 1-game suspension and will be in the 2-hole today. Let's go back to the Athens Regional. This is the final against Oklahoma State. He hits a home run in the 8th to pull Duke within 1, puts on the celebratory construction hard hat helmet. And then with Sam Harris at the plate, Duke takes the lead on that 2-run base hit. He came out of the dugout with the helmet, and that's a no-no. And was given an ejection and a 1-game suspension, but he's back today, and he could have a huge impact in Game 2.
Yeah, this guy has been scorching hot since April 1st. He was hitting under 200. Right now he's close to 300, second on the team in home runs with 14. Total bases, this dude can flat out play.
Well, the Racers, they're going to be spunky, no doubt about it, hoping to force a Game 3 tomorrow. They were terrific offensively in the regional, scored 42 runs. They need to try and channel that again today because yesterday the offense was pretty mediocre.
Yeah, I mean, they got 9 hits. So they were on base, but they could put nothing together, ended up getting 4 runs on the board. Just wasn't the offense that we saw in Oxford.
And there you see the regionals compared to yesterday. They were over 10 runs per game in the regional, but yesterday 4 runs and only once had back-to-back hits. Meanwhile, on the mound, the Racers going with Isaac Silva today, the right-hander, their 8-game winner. Can he lead Murray State to Monday? This will be his 3rd NCAA tournament start. Or will the Devils have their day? 64 years in the making. Duke trying to make history today in Durham. Duke, Murray State, ball game is next. There's Durham native Ben Miller. He'll be at third base again today for the Blue Devils and batting in the 3-hole. Went 0 for 5 yesterday, but played well, especially in the field, despite that sore hand that he's been battling since the regional. And there's the Duke lineup for Chris Pollard, and they are going to face Isaac Silva. We talked a little bit about him already, the senior right-hander, a transfer from Troy.
Yeah, he needs to find out what happened yesterday, which was too much self-inflicted damage, too many walks. He needs to pay attention to that, but he needs to keep this ball down. Good power sinker at the bottom of the zone. Look for a lot of ground balls.
Wallace Clark, A.J. Gracia, and Miller. 1, 2, 3 for Duke here in the top of the first. They are the visiting team on their home field. A field where they won game number 30 on the season. 30 of their 41 wins this year have come here at Jack Coombs, and the first pitch is fouled off. A win today sends them to Omaha. And here's Wallace Clark, the senior captain, who was 0 for 3 in yesterday's game. Did have a couple of walks, as Duke walked a total of 8 times. The 0-1 pitch from Silva, and another foul ball. And this is what we saw yesterday. Duke took a lot of good at-bats. Even though they only had 6 hits, they walked a lot, they fouled off a lot of pitches, and they made Murray State work.
Yeah, both these teams are very experienced college hitters.
And another foul ball.
And another foul ball. And you're going to see these guys will spoil good pitch after good pitch. It gets to be frustrating. And see the numbers: 38 foul balls, 14 3-ball counts, 7 full counts, 8 walks. They saw 171 pitches.
And here's pitch number 4, and that misses down. First one out of the zone for Isaac Silva. Silva started 2 games in Oxford last week, threw 150 pitches. Pitched against Georgia Tech, came back on 2 days rest against Ole Miss. And that start against Ole Miss was on Monday. So he's coming back 6 days later. The second start was better than the first. Lifted, and this is going to get out of play. So here is Wallace Clark battling. He was amazing at the Athens Regional. Had 9 hits, couple of homers, 3 runs batted in. He was the most outstanding player for Duke.
And even though he went 0 for 3 yesterday, found a way to get on base twice with a couple of walks.
Duke picking up where they left off yesterday, just challenging every pitch. And there you see A.J. Gracia. He's just aching to get into the batter's box after serving that 1-game suspension yesterday. Second team All-ACC, projected first rounder next year. Pitch number 8 of the first at bat, and it's going to be a full count.
And this is exactly when you draw up a lineup, a leadoff hitter, good at bat, long at bat, sees a lot of pitches.
Payoff pitch, lifted left field. Lifting back is Dan Tocken. Looks up into the sky and makes the catch. Good out for Wallace Clark as he really battled. And now here comes A.J. Gracia. Hard hats are out again today. And Gracia certainly embodies that mantra on this roster. Has really had a great second half of the season. And the crowd giving him a standing ovation.
I like that right there. Little baseballs hanging down.
1-0, club to center. Going back is Hogarth. Still going back, looking up at the wall. Goodbye, home run. How about that return to the lineup? A.J. Gracia picking up where he left off in the regional final. Hit a home run his last at bat in Athens and leaves the yard here.
You can see what the MLB teams love about him at high pick next year. Gets a sinker, elevated out over, hammers it.
Ben Miller, back-to-back jacks. .128 feet, 21st of the year for Miller as the Blue Devils go back-to-back here in the first.
Just a sweet left-handed swing. And then one pitch later, Ben Miller.
And now this is Jake Hyde, and he'll take inside.
This is a look at Ben Miller's swing. He had been bothered a little bit with this right hand coming off the bat early yesterday. That right hand stayed on that one, and he drives that ball to right center.
The ACC's leader in home runs. We talked about him going 0 for 5 yesterday, but he hit a couple of balls really hard, squared some balls up. And one pitch is all it takes for him to get back in the saddle here today.
two balls very hard yesterday, right on the screws and right at somebody. That was Miller's 15th of the 21 home runs have been against right-handed pitching.
And he'll put the hard hat on, as Gracia didn't get to wear it very long. And there's a strikeout. Jake Hyde goes down. Second out for Isaac Silva, his first K. And here comes Ben Rounds.
That is exactly how you do it. All right, you're going to give up home runs. It just is part of the game. But how you bounce back. Yeah, Miller ambushed him, but bounce back, get the next couple of guys out, settle in, and get back to work.
Here's Ben Rounds, 1 for 5 with an RBI double yesterday. Sprays this one down the line. Will it stay fair? No, it's foul. Not by much. Ben Rounds making a bid for extra bases.
Wow. Gets a little help. Dan Talkin out and left.
Ben Rounds moves from the 2 spot to the 5 hole today, with Gracia back. Rounds an Ivy League transfer from Harvard, one of 3 Ivy League transfers in this Duke lineup. That pitch is inside, 1-1. Rounds hit .403 last year for the Crimson, and you really have to tip your hat to Chris Pollard for how he has brought these transfers out of the portal in and plugged them in, and they've all had great success here in year 1.
Yeah, and I mean, okay, you walk out of an Ivy League school and you graduate. Okay, really intelligent. And then you come here and you're getting a secondary degree at Duke. You're walking off campus after your baseball career is over and you are set.
2-1 pitch. That's a called strike. Home plate umpire today is Greg Harmon. That was just the 3rd time Duke has gone back-to-back this season. And that's called strike 3. Ben Rounds goes down, 3rd out. Isaac Silva will hold the damage to 2 runs, but 2 loud runs. A.J. Gracia makes a return for Duke, and Ben Miller, the Durham native, leaves the yard. Murray State coming up to the plate for the first time, down a deuce. The NCAA Baseball Super Regionals are presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet? And in part by the Sonic Sweet Top Lemonades. Live free, eat Sonic. And Walt Disney World Resort, the most magical place on earth. Well, Duke fans feeling that Jack Coombs Field is pretty magical right now after a couple of home runs in the 1st inning. Murray State in a 2-run hole in a do-or-die game. This is the lineup for Dan Skirka. Hogart will lead it off again. Dustin Mercer had a good day yesterday. Carson Garner, and there's Dom Decker in the 4 hole. He had the best day of anybody on the field yesterday, not named Kyle Johnson. Had 4 hits, drove in a couple of runs. And speaking of Kyle Johnson, moves from center field to the mound today. Sophomore left-hander. Has a 4-3 record, an ERA of 6.3. Has had an interesting season when it comes to pitching.
Yeah, started out the season, had a little bit of a dead arm. And totally normal, but you have to work through it, and so the numbers are a little bit higher than they should be. He's thrown well, gone down to the bullpen, worked out of there, and then last week gets the Athens start. And so here we are, curious to watch how yesterday we talked to Dan Skirka with Murray State, and their team was just fatigued and exhausted after a hot day yesterday on the field. Let's keep an eye on Kyle Johnson because he had a big day on the field and at the plate. Let's see how his legs hold up throughout this game.
Yeah, he had some cramping yesterday. Boy, this is smashed by Hogart. Leads off the game with a home run on the first pitch. 7th leadoff home run this year for Jonathan Hogart. That is the most in the country. He had one in the regional opener against Ole Miss. Does it again here. And it's 2-1.
When you know a guy is going and trying to ambush you, you have to be very careful. You're not throwing a first pitch fastball. That's what he wants. Johnson throws him a first pitch fastball, inner part of the plate, and Hoggard hammers it.
First extra base hit for Murray State in this Super Regional. And this is Dustin Mercer in an 0-2 count. So Hoggard now, 4 of his last 5 home runs have come on the first pitch. And that's going to be a base hit for Dustin Mercer, his 3rd of the Super Regional. Was 2 for 5 yesterday, trying to leg out an extra base, and he is safe. Duke didn't get it into the infield quick enough. Mercer takes advantage. He's at second with nobody out.
This is what Mercer does. They have their bat in the zone for a long time. He drags it through on a slider. Looks like a routine single, a little bit of a bobble. Mercer has his head up, and when he's running down to first base, he is paying attention to what's going on in the outfield. Never takes his eyes off of this. As soon as he sees that ball bounce, he's off.
Well, this is the kind of energy we saw from Murray State in the regional. As Carson Garner comes to the plate here, 0 for 3, couple of walks yesterday. 58 walks on the season, second most in the Missouri Valley. $16 home runs for Garner, 56 runs batted in. And that's down. 2 balls and a strike to Garner. Veteran from Franklin, Tennessee. He's been in Murray State his entire career. And look at those numbers, pretty solid. OPS over 1,000. Down and in, and now 3-1 as Johnson is trying to settle in and get that first out. And missed, walked him. So Hoggard homers, Mercer singles and takes second on an error, and Garner walks. And here comes Dom Decker, who had 4 hits yesterday. Dan Skirka, Missouri Valley Coach of the Year, 40 years old, former Racers assistant, came back after a stop at Walters State and has done remarkable things with this program. 5 straight years of 30-plus wins, a record 42 wins this year. And this Murray State team today, at least offensively through the first 3 hitters, appears more dialed in.
And they're off to a great start and a great answer. Wondering how they were going to do with the 2 big home runs in the top of the first. And they have responded well.
By the way, that error in center field on A.J. Gracia that allowed Mercer to take second base, the first error for Duke in the NCAA tournament. And the last errors came against Florida State in the ACC tournament as Decker fouls it on. Dom Decker 4 for 5, couple of RBIs yesterday. Their leading hitter, 357, no homers, 43 runs batted in. 2 on, nobody out. That's way outside. Kyle Johnson won his last 2 starts, beat Georgia Tech in the last ACC regular season series. Got the win in Athens, beating Georgia. Now struggling. 2-1.
I'm watching Decker's reactions to these sliders that are starting in the zone and then diving out. And he's almost like he knows it's coming. The way he's taking these sliders that are reasonably close.
2-1 pitch to Decker. That's upstairs, 3-1. Brady Kirkpatrick has already made a mound visit. And I wonder if Duke would think about sending somebody out to the bullpen here in the first. And there's another walk. Back-to-back walks to Garner and Decker. And now the bases are loaded for the Racers here in the first inning. Decker has now reached in 40 straight games. And 55 of the 57 games overall this year for Murray State. What a terrific response by the Racers. Getting down 2-0 in the first. And now here is Mastoni. Luke Mastoni, the first baseman. Junior from Upland, California. Transfer from Cal State Fullerton. He was 1 for 3 with an RBI sac fly yesterday. Liner down the line and foul into the bullpen, which is now active for Duke.
And that last walk sent the bullpen down there scrambling.
And is Gabe Nard, a right-hander, just beginning to loosen up. Still nobody out. Hit hard and past Miller into left field. Here comes Mercer to score. And now the game is tied. Another ball barreled up. Luke Mastoni with his 52nd run batted in.
Every one of these guys so far has just been dialed in. Slider down and in, drops ahead of the bat, gets it by a diving Miller.
And now this is Will Vierling. Vierling, the catcher, 1 for 4 yesterday, the left-handed hitter out of Wisconsin. You know, we saw Murray State jump out to an early lead yesterday, but lacked the big hit. To see Luke Mastoni get a hit there with runners in scoring position, that has to tickle Dan Skirka's heart, because so many times yesterday they had traffic, just couldn't drive the big hit. And now here's another line drive to right. That's going to get down in front of Albright. Here comes Garner to score as Murray State goes station to station. And it's now 3-2 as Kyle Johnson still is looking for the first out of the inning, and he may not get out of the first.
These balls are squared up. There's no doubt. And I mean, they almost had to play at the plate right here at a force out. This ball's hit so hard to right field. These guys are right on time, everything. I mean, I'm looking out and I'm trying to see if Kyle Johnson's doing something to give away his pitches, because Murray State is on everything. They are on time on everything. And Kyle Johnson's in the low 90s, got a good slider. The batting averages against everything he has are below 200 on every pitch. So what I'm seeing is just a red flag for me as an old pitcher of going, okay, they are on time everything. Their takes are really, really good. Something's going on.
Gabe Nard appears to be ready down in the bullpen. I think we're just waiting for another appearance from Brady Kirkpatrick. We'll see if Kyle Johnson pitches to Dan Tonkin. Tonkin is the RBI leader for Murray State with 73. Picked up RBI number 73 yesterday, driving in the first run with a sac fly. And Johnson will pitch to him. And that one's high and inside. Dan Tonkin, big veteran left fielder, 259, 10 homers, and 73 big runs batted in. Big swing and a miss, 1-1. The wind is blowing out again today. It's a gentle breeze, but it's out to right center field. And now 1-2. You see the flagpole, it's blowing out. And there's Johnson getting the first out on a strikeout of Dan Tonkin. That was pretty impressive, made quick work of the 7-hole hitter for the first out. Now bring up Nico Bermeo, the DH.
Kyle Johnson just flat had enough. That was the best he's looked. One fastball up out of the zone, and this one he gets down, gets through, and drives it to the bottom of the zone.
Nico Bermeo 0 for 3 with a walk yesterday as the DH. Transfer from Division III Aurora University. He's a Chicago native. This is just his 12th start of the year. So Murray State scored 42 runs in winning the Oxford Regional, managed only 4 runs yesterday. That was their lowest scoring game in 11 games. This is more the prototypical offense we've come to know, especially in recent weeks for the Racers.
Yeah, not necessarily. I mean, the Hogard home run, yeah, that's kind of normal, but this is not a home run hitting team. This is a batting average. These guys are 5th in the nation in doubles. They are a line drive, gap-to-gap team, and you are seeing it on full display right now against a kid that will touch 95. These guys are just locked in.
Eighth man to hit in the inning, the 1-2 to Bermeo. Ball gets away because of first base being occupied. That's going to be back-to-back strikeouts for Kyle Johnson. And now the Duke crowd trying to get behind Johnson. A little wind in his sails to get him out of this inning.
This might be what Kyle Johnson needed. I mean, it's not what he needed, but he might have just kicked in back into relief mode where he goes, you know what, I probably got one more hitter. And he's just gone into a sprint where it's like driving fastballs down, not trying to nibble, getting ahead, pounding the zone.
9-hole hitter Connor Cunningham, Missouri Valley Conference co-freshman of the year. At the plate here with 2 outs and the bases loaded. Hit on the hands, foul back, 2 strikes. Well, Chris Pollard always seems to kind of have the same look on his face, whether it's going good, whether it's not so good.
He's on a roller coaster right now. I mean, his 2 main dudes go deep. He's up 2-0. He's like, sweet. And then all of a sudden, Kyle Johnson's not effective for the first 6 hitters. And there goes the roller coaster down the hill.
Struck him out. So Johnson strikes out 7, 8, and 9. And Murray State leaves the bases loaded. But Murray State does some damage in the first. Jonathan Hogart ambushes the first pitch of the inning. And the Racers score 3 and take the lead. We head to the second in Durham. 3-2 Murray State. Good looking pretzels back here in Durham. Now the Men's College World Series returns to Omaha. Action begins this Friday, June 13th, 2 o'clock Eastern Time, live on ESPN. For more information, go to ncaa.com, the official online home for all 90 NCAA championships. Alongside Omaha native Greg Olson, I'm Clay Matvick. Great to have you with us here in Durham. Now Duke appeared ready to kick the proverbial door down and get to Omaha. Need one more win to do it. Scored 2 right away in the first inning on back-to-back homers, but what a response from Murray State. Now this is Tyler Albright leading off the second for Duke. He'll fly to left. Tocken puts it away, and Isaac Silva quickly gets the first out.
Oh, we were talking in between innings about what kind of lift it feels like when your offense comes out real early in the game, and I was like, I don't know how Kyle Johnson's going to do, but Silva's like, that was a load off of his back. They woke up, he gave up 2 big home runs, and he's probably feeling like, oh no, end of the road here. And then the offense wakes up and gives him a 3 spot.
Here's the DH, Sam Harris. He was 0 for 3 in the bowl game yesterday. Urbandale, Iowa native. That's a suburb of Des Moines. Only had 4 at-bats last year, but a critical component to this year's team. And he hits a screamer to second. Stopped by Decker from his knees. Gets up and throws out Harris. That was hit hard. But Murray State has played exceptional defense. No errors yesterday. And a .978 fielding percentage. Tops in the Missouri Valley.
Coach Pollard made a point to say why Harris is in the lineup and not Kyle Johnson. His numbers against right-handed pitchers sitting .330 off of right-handed pitchers and only .208 versus lefties. But when you got a sinker ball guy like Silva on the mound, man, you are on your toes in the infield. You are ready for a whole bunch of ground balls, and really nice play right there by Decker.
So there's Eric Tyler. He's the first base coach for Duke. Spending a little time with Macon Winslow, the catcher for the Blue Devils. Talented sophomore. I know you were impressed yesterday, Greg, about how he controlled the run game, blocked a lot of pitches that were low yesterday, and really contained the Murray State Racers on the base paths.
Yeah, really nice job behind the plate. A lot of leadership, a lot of, you know, just little small moves like fist pumps, but his ability to block the ball and keep it in front was a big piece of the pie yesterday.
274, 7 and 45 runs batted in. Fouled off. He's been Duke's everyday catcher all season. Had a couple of walks yesterday, scored twice. That was the thing. Of the 8 walks Duke had yesterday, 4 of those walks scored. It's inside, 2-1.
Yeah, I mean, the bottom of the lineup, 7, 8, 9 were combined 0 for 7. But 8 and 9, Winslow and Berger both got on twice with walks. Harris got on by hit by pitch.
Macon Winslow trying to work a 3-ball count here after getting behind. 3-1 to center, and that's going to get down for a hit. 2-out base knock by Macon Winslow, and I think that was the discussion between Winslow and Eric Tyler there, just trying to slow Silva down after he got those 2 quick outs, Greg.
That's exactly what it was. 2 quick outs, guys getting in a rhythm. We don't want to see that. Little offensive timeout. Talked probably about 3 seconds about the offensive game plan right there, but that was just a stall tactic to get Silva off his game.
And now Duke at the 9 spot in the order with Jake Berger, the second baseman. Another grad transfer. He was at Harvard last year. He's the team captain for the Crimson, a Boston native. And has been the everyday starter at second base. He's 0 for 2, as Greg mentioned, a couple of walks, a couple of runs scored. Winslow away from first. And a breaking ball comes in for Silva for strike 1.
That's going to be the key against these type of hitters that are really make you work in the zone. You have to land something off speed, something other than a fastball when you are behind in the count. And a nice job by Silva with a little backdoor slider.
The 1-1. He went around. That single by Winslow. The second non-extra base hit of the Super Regional for Duke. 5 of their 6 hits yesterday were extra base hits. And a couple of home runs so far today. 1 from Gracia and 1 from Miller. Called strike 3. Berger will walk back to the dugout, and Isaac Silva gives up a base hit but strands Winslow. And we've played an inning and a half, and Murray State trying to force another game tomorrow, looking sharp. Well, after Duke took a 2-0 lead in the first inning, you thought, well, maybe Murray State's going to pack it up. Dan Skirka's team, look at that, in the first inning, 3 runs, 4 hits. Couple of hits with runners in scoring position, and lead at 3-2 as they get ready to bat here for the second time.
Yeah, these guys are not ready to go home yet. Great answer, and if this is a fastball, I'm going to be shocked.
Well, it is a fastball, but it's up and out of the zone to Jonathan Hoggard, who hit a first pitch fastball into left field for a home run his last time up. 7th leadoff home run of the season for Hoggard. And here it is.
I mean, this is in the scouting report. This is the MO of this guy. He is going to ambush you early in the count. You have to do something different than throw him a fastball. That's why I said I'm going to be shocked if this is a fastball, and it was, but it missed badly.
Well, the next two miss as well. It's 3-0 here to Hoggard. Johnson threw 32 pitches in the first inning and faced 9 hitters. And there he buries a strike. It's 3-1. Hoggard to be followed by Mercer and Garner here in the second inning. As Murray State, its first ever super regional appearance, trying to play into Monday. And Hoggard walks to start the second inning. That is the 3rd walk already allowed by Kyle Johnson. You know, we saw Gabe Nard up in the bullpen in the first inning. It's quiet now, but, you know, what is the leash for a guy like Kyle Johnson? How long do you let him go when it's obvious that he's having control issues?
That very long. I got maybe 2 more guys. Gabe Nard got hot. He was ready to come into this game, so knowing how relievers work, this is going to be quick, short. He could probably take less than 10 pitches to be hot and walk into this game.
Dustin Mercer, a single his first time up. 3 hits in the Super. One of the hottest players in the country the last couple of weeks. Was great in Oxford. Most outstanding player, had 10 hits, 6 runs batted in there. The 1-1. And this is lifted, and it's going to get out of play. He was also the MVP of the Missouri Valley Conference Tournament. 9 for 18, drove in 7 runs in that championship. So Dustin Mercer has been hotter than a firecracker here in late May and into June.
Dan Skirka said the last couple of weeks he has been the best player on the field every day that he's walked out there.
4th year at Murray, transfer from Virginia Tech. The 2-2 pitch. Got him. Now Kyle Johnson, who struck out the side in the first despite giving up 3 runs. It's another one here for the first out of the second.
Nice job. Fastballs early in the count, and then this slider starts out in the zone, dives out. Mercer just unable to lay off.
That's been the best pitch for Kyle Johnson. Not just today, but this season.
Yeah. Yeah. Opponents are hitting 0-6-3 off of that slider.
Carson Garner, a walk and a run scored in the first inning. Garner has 46 career homers, 16 this year. That's second all-time at Murray State for home runs in a career. He's also second in career runs batted in. This guy is a big part of what Murray State has been in the last 4 years. Snap throw over to first. Murray State shared the Valley regular season title with Missouri State, won the league tournament, and then beat the number 10 national seed Ole Miss twice, and the ACC regular season champ Georgia Tech and Oxford to get to this point. The pitch swung on and missed. 1-1. A little off speed there to even up the count.
A rare changeup. Here's some splits for you, Clay. When Kyle Johnson is behind in the count, which is 1-0, 2-1, etc., opponents are hitting 300 on the year. When he is ahead in the count, opponents are hitting 138. So very important for him to find strike one and get ahead early.
2-1 to Carson Garner. Dom Decker on deck. Oh, more. This one is hammered to left. Deep. And this is in the pine trees. Goodbye home run. 2-run shot for Carson Garner. His 17th of the year. And it's 5-2. And that might be it for Kyle Johnson.
Johnson tried to go back to that changeup again. And there is one place you cannot ever throw a changeup, and that is at the belt. That ball gets hit a long way every time. You rarely get a baseball back after leaving a changeup up at the belt.
Well, Johnson's going to start the at-bat here to Dom Decker. Now look at that Murray State bench. This is what we did not see yesterday. It was a pretty quiet dugout most of the day for the Racers.
Well, they got their 9 hits. It was just 9 singles. They could get nothing in the gap.
And only once went back-to-back.
Yeah. It's really struggled with runners in scoring position. Of course, other than Dom Decker.
Decker walked and was stranded at third in the first inning, as Murray State left the bases loaded despite scoring 3 times. 4 hits yesterday for Decker. This one's fouled off. 2-2. So Decker has reached in 40 straight. As Murray State now has a couple of home runs here in the Super. Hogart and now Garner.
Dan Skirka is pushing the edge of you have to be in the dugout for the whole game. He is on that top step, toes right to the edge of the turf almost every game. He's right there.
3-2, chopped. Second base, charging here is Berger. He'll flip to first for the second out. So Decker is retired. And, you know, Dan Skirka, he wears number 9 on his uniform to honor his late brother, Justin. That was Justin's number when he was a player as a young man, and they were tight. One of 4 boys in that family, and it's a nod to his late brother, who he knows is watching today. 2 outs to Luke Mastoni. Puts the ball in play immediately. Ben Miller on the backhand, low throw again. He's got a tender right hand, and Jake Hyde easily fields it for the 3rd out. But a 2-run shot for Carson Garner, number 17 on the campaign. He knew it immediately. Murray adds 2 more. Racers lead at 5-2 in Durham. Baseball's best rivalry making up our Sunday night matchup tonight. Series finale between the Sox and the AL East leading Yankees. 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on ESPN. Coverage begins at 6 o'clock Eastern with baseball tonight. Sunday night countdown. That series tied at a game apiece. And alongside 1989 American League Rookie of the Year Greg Olson, I'm Clay Matvick. It's great to have you with us here in Durham, North Carolina. Game 2 of the Durham Super Regional. Duke took game 1 yesterday 7-4. Murray State in a do-or-die situation leading 5-2 as we move to the 3rd inning. And back to the top of the order, Wallace Clark teeing off. Wallace Clark, goodbye home run. Duke senior captain, his 9th of the year. 3rd home run Isaac Silva has given up here today.
Talked about where Silva needs to live. He needs to be down at the knees when a sinker baller is elevated, leaves it up around the belt. It tends to get flat and stays on plane. That ball was staying right on plane, and Clark just smoked it.
And that fan has the baseball, a souvenir, as A.J. Gracia comes to the plate for the 2nd time. Gracia homered his first time up against Silva.
It's supposed to go the other way around, isn't it? The kid's supposed to get the ball from the older guy.
Yeah, you'd think. Maybe he's just protecting him for him.
Yeah, he knows that ball's going to end up getting played and catch out in the outfield. And
so here's Gracia, who served that 1-game suspension yesterday after being ejected in the regional final for that home run prop on the field. Came back with a vengeance in his first plate appearance. Talked about his great second half for Duke. He was hitting under 200 in early April, but over the last 31 games or so has raised his average about 200 points. 2-2 from Silva. Didn't mean to. Easy play for Silva for the first down. Trying to check his swing and couldn't.
So Silva all year long. Sinker ball guys keep the balls, ground balls everywhere. He's only given up 6 home runs in the 76 innings. Today he has given up 3 in 2 innings of pitch, 2 1/3.
Now Ben Miller hit his 21st of the year, his first time up, and against the shift, there's a hole on the right side. He could have driven a truck through. Lays one out there for a base hit. So he's aboard with 1 out for Jake Hyde.
This is just a great piece of hitting, and Coach Pollard talked about it. He goes up there with a game plan every at bat. He walks up to that plate and he sees that they had shifted to the pull side, gets a sinker down, and just the swing was just one of carving it to right field. And that was all his intention, was just a routine ground ball to where second base used to be.
Now the defense back to its conventional ways as Jake Hyde comes up. Strikeout victim of Silva's back in the first inning. Jake Hyde also got out to a slow start this year. First month of the season was hitting under 200, 294 coming into the game today. Wrap to first. Stoney's going to go to second. They'll get one there and double play in time. And that's going to end the inning. It looks like Duke wants a challenge.
The initial look was Cunningham caught this ball on the bag.
Could they be looking for obstruction?
Get back down on the bag, but we'll get another look right here. Ball's gone by the time that toe comes up on top of the bag. Ooh.
Boy, that's close.
Yes, it is. In the old days, that's just called the area code. As long as you were in the area code of second base on a double play, nobody paid any attention. Now that we have reviews,
more by the book.
More by the book. That toe looks like the ball is in his hand as the toe is coming up in my look right there. See where the toe comes up. There it is.
I don't know. I think he's off the
I'm
bag.
saying right here. Right on the throw, the foot. Man, that's close.
Yeah, when you were playing, that was an out.
That was area code. You had to be within a couple feet of second base.
So it's called a double play on the field. We'll see if there's indisputable video evidence to make a change here. If it's double play, inning's over.
The call of out at second base is confirmed. Duke has 1 challenge remaining.
So Duke loses a challenge. Inning is over. But the Blue Devils get 1 run back. As all 3 guys at the top of the Duke order have homered today. The most recent, Wallace Clark. And Wallace Clark, there it is, to right field. Trying to get back to Omaha with another team. The former Sooner hits it out. It's now 5-3 Murray State. Welcome back to Durham as it's 5-3 Murray State. As the Racers get ready to hit here in the third inning, Chris Pollard joins us from the Duke dugout. And, you know, the story here the last few years is let's kick the door down. One win away from Omaha, and you came out right away in the first inning with the 2 home runs. Just the approach today and the message to your guys.
Yeah, so, you know, I mean, we wanted to be on the fastball. That was the big thing. You know, if you look at the numbers, we got a lot of left-handed hitters, and Silva gets slugged on the fastball, and I thought we did a great job in the first. AJ coming out, getting in a 1-0 count and being on time with the fastball, and then Ben Miller right behind him on time with the fastball. So we've taken some good swings on the fastball today. We forced him to have to go to that slider more, but we've got to stay ready when we get fastballs and fastball counts.
What's it mean to have AJ back in the lineup?
Yeah, so he's looked pretty good. You know, and I know he's excited and he deserves this moment. He's such a great kid and such a great player. It's nice to see him back on the field in this spot.
All right, Chris, thank you very much.
Thank you,
Thanks,
guys.
Coach.
You bet.
Coach Chris Pollard. So Johnson still battling here. And this is going to be a big first out. The 0-2 pitch. Lifted into left field. And there's Ben Rounds to put it away as Will Vierling is retired. That'll bring up Dan Tockett. Kyle Johnson has not had a shutdown inning yet.
No, well, that's the first leadoff guy he's gotten out. So good start. I mean, there's been 2 versions of Kyle Johnson. One where it's just.
He's talking, wrapping to second. And Berger throws him out on 1 pitch.
But there's been 2 versions, and as one gets into attack mode like we saw at the end of the first inning with 7, 8, 9 guys and punched out, and it was just dominant. And then there's the other guy that, like last inning, walked, gets a strikeout, and then the big home run, he gets ambushed. So seems to be a little bit maybe of a focus issue of a pitch to pitch. You know, you got to be locked in for every pitch that you make because damage can happen on any time.
Well, this is a part of the order that Kyle Johnson actually did okay against in the first inning, that 3-run first. He struck out Bermeo after getting Tockett on strikes, and then also struck out Cunningham in the 9-hole. Nico Bermeo 0 for 1. Again in the designated hitting role today for Murray State, and it's a ball and a strike. Owen Prooks picked up the win yesterday. The Duke starter in game 1 went 5 2/3, and he battled at times, and that's what we're seeing Kyle Johnson do here. Breaking ball 1 and 2.
Yeah, Prooks was really good. 115 pitches, just finally ran out of gas. But really good left-handed arms at the top of this Duke rotation.
But Prooks was behind on the scoreboard too early as the Racers scored a couple of runs in the first few innings. We're going to talk to Dan Skirka coming up between innings. It's upstairs, 2 and 2. Dan Skirka has a 9-year-old son, Keegan, who's been the life of the party here in Durham this weekend. I think it would be fun to interview him, to be honest. 2-2, that's in the turf.
When we had him on camera yesterday, he looked like he was a little edgy as the game was going on. Took us 5 innings to find him with all the cameras that we have here.
Well, Johnson got the first 2 outs fairly easily here in the third. Now 3 and 2 to Bermeo. That's chop foul. Kyle Johnson has pitched well enough to avoid Duke needing to go to the bullpen early in this ballgame, even though Gabe Nard has been up 2 innings in a row. 3-2 pitch. Popped up down the line. Long run for Jake Hyde, the first baseman. Nobody's going to get there. Tyler Albright didn't have a chance to get there as well.
Now, this is where Kyle Johnson needs to go into professional mode. Okay, you can't do anything about the 5 runs you've given up, but you can put together some innings, get out of here, make this a respectable start, and save your bullpen from having to come in the 3rd or 4th inning.
And now Max Stammel is poised in that bullpen. There's Gabe Nard. He has been loose for a while. 3-2, chopper back to Johnson. This is the inning the lefty was looking for. Goes 1, 2, 3 in the third. So he played 3. 2-run game in game 2 of the Durham Super Regional. Duke 3. NCAA Baseball Super Regionals presented by Capital One. Let's bring in Coach Skirka from Murray State. And Dan, your team got down early in this ball game. You're down in this Super Regional, but we've seen a lot of fight from the Racers the last couple of weekends. Just talk about what it means as far as the character of this team and what you've seen, not just this weekend, but throughout the season.
Yeah, just toughness. I mean, they pride themselves on that. You know, we're some dirtbags, man, and they don't know any other way. They're never going to stop. They're just going to keep playing this game hard, and whether we're up, down, tight game, it's the same process, and that's what I couldn't be more proud of for these guys.
Who's the cast of characters you got behind you, Coach?
Yeah, a bunch of them. Too many to name. I saw that they sent me the video from yesterday, so they got a kick out of that, and I'm sure they're doing something else now. But I love these guys. They know it's all in fun. We're going to have fun, but we're going to compete like crazy.
Well, your scouting report was nails on Silva. Got to get the ball down. A couple balls been left up.
Yep, and they made us pay. Obviously, they got a really good lineup, and if he keeps doing that, it's gonna be tough on him. But you saw what he does when he gets it down, gets some ground balls, and we'll take care of those, hopefully.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate you.
Thanks, guys.
Dan Skirka. 5 straight years of 30-plus wins, a record 42 this year. 2 wins away from Omaha. This program has never been to the College World Series. Got 1 win away in 1979 under the legendary coach Johnny Reagan. Back when they were still called the Thoroughbreds.
Or their breads to their friends. Saw a couple bread shirts walking around here.
Kind of like him. Ball under strike to the leadoff man, Ben Rounds for Duke here in the 4th inning. It's Rounds, Albright, and Harris, 5, 6, and 7. Duke has 5 hits. All of their runs have come on solo homers, one by Gracia, one by Miller, and one by Clark. Ben Rounds was a strikeout victim in the 1st inning. He went down looking to end the 1st. Again, he moves to the 5-hole today. He was in the 2 spot yesterday when Gracia was out on suspension. Ground ball to second. Dom Decker pats his glove a couple of times, throws over to first. 1 away.
Silva got him on a backdoor slider back in the 1st. This one he tries to make the same pitch, leaves the slider out over, but gets a nice routine ground ball to second base.
So 1 out for Tyler Albright, who's had an excellent junior season after a tough injury-plagued sophomore year. That kept him out of the lineup most of the year. He only had 11 starts in 2024. And that was coming off a really good freshman season. You might remember a couple of years ago, he was great in the NCAA tournament, made the Conway All-Regional team, had a 3-hit game in the Super Regionals at Virginia, and has been in the lineup just about every game this year. Comes into this at bat, hitting right around 300. The 0-2, and shifting over toward the bag is Decker, so he had that played perfectly. Scouting report was beautiful there, defending Albright. 2 up, 2 down.
Yep, slider down and away. Albright gets out there and hooks it back up the middle. I think it would be a base hit, but nice job of shifting over to second base.
And here comes Sam Harris. He had the game-winning RBIs in the regional final in Athens. And the designated hitter back in the lineup today. We actually, thought maybe because of what Kyle Johnson did yesterday, he would stay in the lineup just to keep his bat in there, but they just love Sam Harris, the DH.
Yeah, really good numbers against right-handed pitching. They wanted him back in the lineup again today. Light tower power, as good a raw power as anybody this program's had.
Behind in the count, 0-2 is Isaac Silva. He's trying to have a shutdown inning, and he does. He hops off the mound as Murray State has a ton of confidence right now. Trying to push this to a third game on Monday. Silva gets a K to end the fourth.
Just feel like if they can get some shutdown innings, this game's going to settle in, and Silva has settled in. Wipeout slider at the bottom of the zone.
Tell you, Murray State can hit, and they jumped out early in their first plate appearance. Jonathan Hogart, first pitch he sees, takes it to left field for a home run. They scored 2 more times in the first inning, and then Carson Garner came up in the second inning, and he hit a 2-run shot here. But since that home run from Garner, Kyle Johnson has retired 5 in a row. I think in the second inning, if we'd have said that Kyle Johnson is pitching into the fourth, we'd probably bet against that. But Murray State, no doubt, has been an inspired bunch after yesterday.
Yeah, the answer for that first the 2 home runs in the first inning, great answer. Kyle Johnson was probably on his last hitter about 2 innings ago. Last inning, same thing. You can see short leash. Here we go again.
Connor Cunningham leads off the 4th inning out of the 9-hole with a base hit to center. That is the first hit for the Super Regional for Cunningham. And the 6th hit today for the Racers. Back to the top of the order in Hogart.
Just 1 through 9 with Murray State. The Racers have their bats in the zone for a long time. Nice flat plane swings, not trying to do too much. That might be the end of the day for Kyle Johnson. Top of the lineup, rolling back around.
Brady Kirkpatrick in his 3rd year as pitching coach for Duke. Helped Duke get to the Supers in 2023 in his first year. Has been terrific with the staff of the Blue Devils. And it appears Gabe Nard, who has been warming up since the first inning, is finally going to make an appearance here in the 4th with a man on and nobody out. We're going to step aside. Pitching change in Durham, our first of the day. Game 2, it's 5-3 Murray.
The new How to Train Your Dragon menu is now at BK. Get it before it disappears. Ooh, toothless. Bold, tasty, and dangerously delicious. How to Train Your Dragon. Coming to theaters June 13th.
Drive up that's ready when you are. Just tap Target.
When the monsters come, all you can do is scream.
You were the last person to see the president alive. Did you kill him?
They will never see us coming.
Better?
Yeah, better.
Well, don't forget, Men's College World Series in Omaha, Nebraska starts this coming Friday. And the city always turns out the red carpet. ESPN has been a part of it for several years, and we will be again. Cover to cover. We're going to have the College World Series for you again here in 2025. Here's a look at our bracket. The side that Duke and Murray State is on. We have had one team punch a ticket from the other side of the bracket, and that's Coastal Carolina. The Duke-Murray State bracket matches up with UCLA and UTSA. Bruins lead that series 1-0. Winner of this one will play the winner of that one in Omaha. Duke 1 win away from its first College World Series appearance since 1961. They've had to make a pitching change here in the 4th inning. Kyle Johnson is gone, and here comes Gabe Nard, a seasoned veteran. He has made a couple of starts this year, but in his 28 previous appearances, primarily out of the bullpen, a guy they really trust, so no surprise they go to him here.
Well, I talked about the racers, flat plane swings on time. You counter that with a guy that's a sinker slider guy, bottom of the zone, and you try to get some depth on those sinkers, get some ground balls on these great contact hitters.
And he's got a tough hitter to get out. First man he's going to face, Jonathan Hogard. Cunningham's at first. Nobody out. Hogard, a home run, a walk, 2 runs scored. Hogard hit .400 in Oxford last weekend, had 3 homers there and 6 runs batted in. So he has 4 homers here in the NCAA tournament. Transfer from Louisiana Tech. He pitches outside, so 3-0 for Nard, who spent 3 innings warming up in the bullpen. Finally gets on the mound here and is trying to dial in.
I mean, it's an art to being down there for multiple innings and warming up. You got to conserve. You got to understand when to get hot, when just to kind of play a little bit of catch and keep moving. It really is hard to gauge because as a young player, you really want to get hot and stay hot and keep firing and firing. And if you're down there for 3 or 4 innings.
There he goes. He buries one in at the knees to come back and fill out the count.
Yep, that's that sinker at the bottom of the zone. And the good sinker ball guys just start it in the middle of the plate and let it work down and into right-handed hitters.
3-2 to Hogard. Nard looking for a ground ball, gets it there, but it's foul. Duke used a couple of relievers yesterday. Mark Hindy got the last out in the 6th, struggled in the 7th, so they brought in Reed Easterly, the closer, and he got a 3-inning save, 3 beautiful shutout innings. His bullpen pretty well rested. Gabe Nard, one of the rare right-handers out of the Duke bullpen. They have a litany of lefties. Here again is the 3-2, misses down and away, and Hogard walks for the 2nd time. So 2 on, nobody out, and Dustin Mercer, who has 3 hits in the Super Regional, coming to the plate.
Fielder number 10, Dustin Mercer.
Dan Skirka and Murray State believing they can force a game 3 here today. It's chopped foul. Super's a best of 3 round. You see Mercer 1 for 2. That catches the inside corner for Nard.
And that's what Nard's gotten really good at this year is front door sinkers to left-handed hitters. So this ball starts in off the plate. You get that kind of a look, you freeze them.
It's down low, blocked up by Winslow. Mercer doesn't have any home runs this year. A terrific batting average. Hitting .354. 38 runs batted in. Pulled foul. Mercer also pitches. He's made a couple of appearances this season. We talked to Dan Skirka about that, and he said very unlikely. We know what his best attributes are, and we're going to play to those this weekend. The outfield and hitting. Comebacker. Base hit into center field. Cunningham around 3rd. And he will score without a throw. Murray State, the hits just keep on coming. It's now 6-3 Racers. As Hogard will stop at 2nd. So 2 on, still nobody out for Garner.
Number 8, Carson Garner.
Thought he might go back to that sinker in the front door, and this one he leaves out over the plate. Mercer right on time, takes it right back up the box. RBI single. If you're thinking that they're going to play small ball and bunt, Clay, they only have 7 sacrifice bunts on the year, so that's not their game.
So here's Garner. A walk and a run scored in the first, a 2-run homer in the second. His 17th of the year, now has 58 runs batted in. This guy's been really good in the 3-hole this year, Greg.
Yes, he has. Second all-time at Murray State with 46 home runs. Leads the team in walks this year. Has really cut back on the big swings. Trying to find a way to get on base. Seems to be kind of like the motto of most of this lineup.
Gabe Nard still looking for his first out since coming out of the pen here in the 4th inning. Gets a chopper to the right side. This could be a tough play. Snared by Berger. His throw in time to get Garner. Boy, that was not easy. Hogard goes to third. Mercer to second on the play. Duke is able to get the out. Now here comes Dan Skirka. He may want a review.
Here's another look at it. Great effort by Berger. Ranging way to his left on a high chopper, so he's out in right field right now. Spin, throw. I think he might have got him. Let's see how good Hyde is with his footwork right here.
Boy, it's going to be tough to overturn.
Call on the field was out. I mean, just great all-around defensive play by Berger and Hyde.
I think this is going to stand. I just don't know that there's enough evidence to overturn it. And that's an out that Gabe Nard desperately needs to stand up. But that's, if it is an out, it's a productive out for Garner as he moves the runners to second and third.
Yeah, still a nice piece of hitting, stayed inside of a sinker down. Tried to shoot it through the 43 hole.
Greg Harmon, our home plate umpire. Brian Miller at third today. Travis Eggert is at second. And Brandon Cooper occupying first base today. That's our crew. Call again on the field out at first base. We'll see if this is going to hold up.
The call out at first base is confirmed. Murray State uses the challenge and has 1 remaining.
All right, there you go. So the call is confirmed, first out of the inning. I think they got this right.
Too. Yeah, no, my initial look was bang, bang. I thought he was out.
Now batting the second baseman, number 12, Dom Decker.
And you know what, Clay? Just got a good look at why the NCAA put that new bag in. Because there would have been a collision right there.
No doubt. So here's Dom Decker, a very dangerous hitter for the Racers. 355, 43 runs batted in. A walk and a ground out so far. Has 2 runners on in scoring position.
Got an open base. I don't know if I'd be tinkering around much. Saw a couple of sliders early on in this thing, 1-1. I'm not giving in to him and giving him a fastball at any point.
Breaking ball down the line. That's fair. Hogard scores. Mercer is going to score. And coasting into second, Dom Decker with a 2-run double. And the Murray State Racers want to play on Monday. And it has showed since the bottom of the first inning.
This isn't pretty. A slider left elevated. He just stays inside of it. Fights it off into left field. Stand-up double. I mean, this dude can flat out hit. You hear it all year long from the coaches. Man, he's just got this hit tool. He's got this hit tool. This guy can flat out rake.
Stoney already has an RBI today, too. He's 1 for 2. So Murray State today now 4 for 8 with runners in scoring position. Hit hard to right. Albright is right there. He'll make the catch. No tag from Decker. So there are 2 down. Kyle Johnson started the 4th inning, gave up the leadoff hit to Connor Cunningham, so he was done after 3 innings, 69 pitches, 6 runs, 6 hits, walked 3, did strike out 4, but he labored right from the get-go, giving up the leadoff home run to Hogard. Now, as great as he was yesterday in the field, it's just been a different story. His role totally different today as the starting pitcher.
Yeah, it is a completely different animal. You're a lot more wired up, and he went out there and Murray State jumped him early. Duke gave him a good lead.
This is foul, and Will Vierling is hobbled as he takes it off the leg. Will Vierling, the Louisville Cardinal transfer, who's behind a glut of great catchers at Louisville, looking for a place to play, ends up at Murray State. He's been a big lift to this roster. Keep an eye on this. Ooh, right off the front of the ankle. Louisville and Miami tied at 2 in the 5th inning. That series is tied at a game apiece. A couple of ACC teams locking horns there. Looks like Vierling is going to be all right. He had an RBI single in the 1st inning. RBI opportunity here with 2 outs. Shift is on. They're playing him to pull. Decker out at second. His last 3 games, 8 for 11. 5 ribbies, 4 runs scored. This is clubbed to right field. Going back is Albright. Still going back. He'll watch it hit off the base of the wall. Coming in is Decker with the 9th run of the day for Murray State. Vierling with an RBI double. His 2nd run batted in today. And the lead is now 6 for the Racers.
Slider just kind of hangs out on the outside part of the plate. Vierling gets out here and buggy hooks this thing to right field, gets over the head of Albright. Murray State just throwing them out there in bunches.
Foul back by Dan Tockett, who's 0 for 2. This is the offense we saw last weekend in the Oxford Regional. 42 runs they scored in 4 games, and today we're seeing that offense come alive again. Under the glove of Berger into right field. That's going to score another run as Vierling comes home. 10-3 Murray State. 2nd error of the ball game for Duke.
Looked like Berger was really in between if he was going to try to get in front of it or backhand it. Doesn't make the decision in time. You can see right here he's trying to get in front of it, and then he decides, I'm going to backhand. This gets under the glove. Another run comes in. Murray State is 22-2 when they score 10 runs.
Now Brady Kirkpatrick comes out as Gabe Nard has had misfortune since coming out of the pen. Duke, no errors in their first 4 NCAA tournament games, but they've had 2 in 4 innings today. You see Kyle Johnson, who was the hero yesterday at the plate. Gave up 5 runs today. I think that's 6 actually when you count the one that he was charged with here today in the 4th inning. And Gavin Brown, another left-hander, getting loose for Duke. Nico Bermeo, the 9th man to hit for Murray State in the inning. Chopper. Nard leaps, grabs it, and he'll flip over to first for the 3rd out. So that's going to do it finally in the 4th inning. Murray State relentless today. 3 in the 1st, 2 in the 2nd, and they score 5 here in the 4th inning to take a 10-3 lead as we head to the 5th.
The new How to Train Your Dragon menu is now at BK. Get it before it disappears. Oh, toothless. Bold, tasty, and dangerously delicious. How to Train Your Dragon. Coming to theaters June 13th.
There's a kind of magic to making memories. To finding time for the little things and the big things. The new things. And the things you'll do over and over again. It's the magic of a job well done and a well-deserved day of rest. Of living life to the fullest with the people you'd never want to live without. Fairway, closed on Sunday, open for life.
Discover confidence, comfort, and class in your new vehicle from Woodhouse Buick. View our inventory and offers in-store or online at WoodhouseBuickGMC.com. Woodhouse Buick GMC. We are professional grade.
Jeff, you good?
Yeah, 1 sec.
Listen up. Jeff has a sore back, and it's the Rec League semifinal. Let's get our man back in the game. We got the ice, and we got the hot. Ice works fast, heat makes it last. Icy Hot, you're so back.
Welcome back to Durham and the NCAA Baseball Super Regionals presented by Capital One. The lead for Murray State is now 7. Program that had won just 2 NCAA tournament games since 1979. They have made this interesting here in Game 2 of the Super. They won 3 and 4 days in Oxford to get to this point, their first ever Super Regional appearance. And trying to force a Game 3 tomorrow. Macon Winslow leading it off here in the 5th inning. He'll be followed by Jake Berger for Duke and Wallace Clark. As Isaac Silva, the starter, is still slinging. Gets a fly ball here to left field. Hit pretty well by Winslow. It stays in the ballpark. Tocken puts it away for the first out. Look at Murray State. 4th NCAA tournament appearance. First since 2003. Coming out of that Oxford Regional. They have won 27 of their last 33. And like I said, they got 1 win away from Omaha in '79. But since the Super Regional format, I mean, 2003 is it until this year. Foul back by Jake Berger, who's 0 for 1. And it took Dan Skirka coming in, a Michigan native, 40 years old, to reinvigorate the Murray State program. And now has them a couple of wins away from the College World Series.
They've done a great job with this roster. Very veteran offense. Got a couple studs at the top of the rotation.
Silva got Berger to go down looking back in the 2nd inning. You know, the way this game started for Isaac Silva, you know, gave up a couple of home runs right away in the 1st inning. He's down 2-0 after the 1st. Didn't look like he'd be around long, but he has settled in. There's another out as Berger wraps to 1st. There's Keegan Skirka. Think he's fired up?
He just wants to be in the dugout.
Number 7, Wallace Clark.
Now this was his Little League game after the regional win. He had a Little League game, and the team said, you know what, let's have a bonding moment. We're going to go watch Keegan play. And, you know, they were really happy, looking forward to the Super Regionals. And when Keegan's team played, and they were all there as cheerleaders.
He's got about 27 older brothers in that dugout.
That's for sure. Here's Wallace Clark now. Homered his last time up. Big Skirk and Little Skirk. He would love to be in the dugout, but
yes,
he's too little. That's what Dad says. Just missed inside.
He'll be in that dugout the minute this game is over with.
Isaac Silva has retired 6 in a row. going back to the third inning. He has gotten better as this game has worn on. Coming off a big effort in the regionals where he made 2 starts. Came back on 2 days rest. And helped the Racers beat Ole Miss to get to this point.
Well, that is generally the book on sinker ball guys. They get better the more they get tired. Then they're not trying to do too much. The hand gets on the inside of the ball. They create a better sink action, and they're just relaxed and working bottom of the zone. So he needs to get a lather going, and then all of a sudden here comes some power sinkers, good sliders down.
Gets another ground ball. Third baseman Carson Garner throws across. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Silva. Halfway through the 5th. Murray State hanging on to the momentum, leading by 7 in Durham.
The new How to Train Your Dragon menu is now at BK. Get it before it disappears. Oh, toothless. Bold, tasty, and dangerously delicious. How to Train Your Dragon. Coming to theaters June 13th.
There's a kind of magic to making memories. To finding time for the little things and the big things. The new things. And the things you'll do over and over again. It's the magic of a job well done and a well-deserved day of rest. Of living life to the fullest with the people you'd never want to live without. Fairway, closed on Sunday, open for life.
Got one more, Antoine.
With USPS Ground Advantage, it's like you're with us every step of the way.
Right on time.
Stay in the know from your dock to their door.
To Omaha, Nebraska, home of the College World Series.
'Cause here I come, I wear it all on my sleeve, so everything you see shows you where I'm from.
Bolts back and makes the catch! Somehow hung on! Back-to-back checks!
More, more, more! Can you believe it?
Well, the Missouri Valley Conference has sent 4 teams to the Super Regional round in the last 5 years. Dallas Baptist is on to Conference USA now, but Indiana State in 2023 went to the Fort Worth Super Regional. Evansville was in Knoxville, Tennessee last year, lost to the eventual national champion Volunteers, but they forced a 3rd game. And now Murray State here in 2025 in Durham, trying to get to Monday and a 3rd game. And right now it's looking really good as they hit the 5th inning, leading 10-3. And another new pitcher for the Duke Blue Devils. It's another left-hander, Gavin Brown.
Yep, Tufts University transfer, 1-0, 3.52. Got in 1 game in the Athens Regional, but fastball 88-91, more 4-seam than 2-seam, cutter, slider, changeup. He'll feature 4 pitches that he'll be landing in the zone regularly.
Connor Cunningham leads this inning off for Murray State. He started the 4th inning with a base hit, came around to score in that 5-run onslaught. High baseball IQ, Connor Cunningham. He came in this year as a true freshman from Batesville, Arkansas, as Murray State was trying to replace a 3-year starter, shortstop Drew Vogel, who was drafted by the Astros last year. Cunningham, as a rookie, has been phenomenal. Strike on the outside corner, 2-2. And was the Missouri Valley Conference co-freshman of the year. Gavin Brown just trying to work himself into this game. Breaking ball sent the other way, and that was nearly extra bases. Foul by about 1.5 feet. Good piece of hitting there. That was a tough pitch to hit, and he almost had extra bases.
Yep. Slider left elevated. He's able to fight it off, stay inside of it.
Swung out and missed, and Gavin Brown gets his first out on the strikeout. It's been a nice uptick for the Murray State offense today. Already as many hits as they had yesterday, but the extra base hits, that's what stands out. All singles yesterday, but a couple of bombs today, a couple of doubles.
Yeah, you're seeing this offense at its best right now. Not a big home run hitting team, have 73 now on the year, which was good for 84th coming into the game, but they are a doubles batting average. Is it that 306, which is 27th in the country?
Back to the top of the order here in Jonathan Hogarth, who's been on 3 times. A home run, that was in the first inning on the first pitch, and he has walked twice. And I'll tell you, Jonathan Hogarth really set the mood for the game today for Murray State. Did that hit him? Yes, it did. So a 1-out base runner as Hogarth is on for the 4th time.
I feel like his home run really set the tone for Murray State. Okay, Duke comes out, 2 home runs in the top of the first. Big response. And then Hogarth comes up first pitch and just yah-yah to left field.
And Murray State has been rolling pretty much ever since as Dustin Mercer comes up now with a man on. And back up the middle, almost took the hat off of Gavin Brown. Ringing single to center, nearly dehorned Gavin Brown. Dustin Mercer with his 3rd hit.
Now batting the 3rd base.
Brings back a lot of nightmares for me, Clay. Right back up the box. Chuck it and duck it.
Well, Dustin Mercer now 5 hits here in Durham in the last 2 days. 10 hits now for Murray State as Carson Garner comes up and that big 2-run homer in the 2nd inning. Winslow keeps it in front. This is the 2nd inning shot by Garner. Home run number 17 on the year, his 47th of his career.
Like Clay said, this is what was missing yesterday, was the damage. They put together and scattered 9 singles.
There you see his numbers. The biggest contribution for Garner this season might be his defense, though. Had a real tough time in the field last year at 3rd base, had 16 errors as he takes a strike. That was the most in the Missouri Valley Conference. This year he has cut way down, more than half. Just 7. And he made the Missouri Valley all-defensive team.
Coach Skirka said these guys really went to work on their defense.
That's going to be a double play as Gavin Brown gets Duke back to the dugout unscathed. That's the inning Duke needed from their bullpen. It stays 10-3 Murray after 5.
The new How to Train Your Dragon menu is now at BK. Get it before it disappears. Ooh, toothless. Bold, tasty, and dangerously delicious. How to Train Your Dragon. Coming to theaters June 13th.
When the monsters come, all you can do is scream.
You were the last person to see the president alive. Did you kill him?
They will never see us coming.
Better?
Yes, better.
Building your own American Family Insurance roof line?
Yeah, life's better when you're protected under American Family's roof.
That's not how it works. See, that's how it works.
Save up to 23% by bundling your home and auto with us.
Get behind the wheel of your next vehicle from Woodhouse Chevy. Take advantage of special financing and offers happening now. View our inventory online or visit us in store at our 2 dealerships located in Omaha and Missouri Valley. Woodhouse Chevy. Together.
Well, the UFL semis are today. The USFL Conference Championship game. Panthers and Stallions, 3 Eastern on ABC. Then it's the XFL Conference Championship game. Battlehawks hosting the Defenders on Fox. Trip to the UFL Championship game Saturday, June 14th on ABC is on the line. Alongside Auburn Hall of Famer Greg Olson, I'm Clay Matvick back here in Durham as we move to the 6th inning. Murray State has been in command since the 2nd inning. And they have a 10-3 lead as A.J. Gracia comes up. He'll lead it off, followed by Ben Miller and Jake Hyde for the Blue Devils. Murray State trying to force a Game 3 in their Super Regional tomorrow. And Greg, Isaac Silva gave up a couple of home runs in the 1st inning. Looked like he may have a short day, but you know what he has avoided today are the walks and the hit by pitch that really plagued yesterday's starter Nick Schutte. He walked 5, hit 2, and that's why he didn't last long in that game yesterday.
Yeah, and you could see the fatigue from the last weekend where he threw 170 pitches and just wore on him. And so he was really struggling mechanically. I think he was exhausted. And the free passes and the self-inflicted damage that we were warned if that happens, he's going to have a problem. Well, Isaac Silva has done a great job, and this is really one of a rare 3-ball count that he's been in.
3-1 to Gracia. And walked him. And there's A.J. Gracia, leads Duke in walks. That's his 56th of the year. And he'll take first base as the Blue Devils need a bunch. Down 7. Look at the line for Silva. That's his first walk allowed.
Right when we bring it up. Never fails. So I'm starting to look at it going, all right, I want him to eat some innings, but I don't want Duke to start getting competitive back into this game.
He had retired 7 in a row before that free pass to Gracia. And now Ben Miller, who already has a homer against Silva today. He went back-to-back with Gracia in the 1st. 2 for 2, also singled in the 3rd inning. It's outside, 2-0.
This is the problem. When you got dangerous hitters, you tend to nibble at the corners, and you're trying to make great pitches early in the count because you do not want them to do damage. But then the result is 2-0 counts. I get behind in the count. Now, at some point, I'm going to have to give in.
And now time is called. As Steve Adkins, the pitching coach, makes his way to the mound. His first appearance today. You know, remember, Ole Miss was trailing 12-3 to Murray State in that final. It got interesting, and I'm sure Duke has designs on trying to make this uncomfortable for the Racers, even though the lead is 7 here as the game is starting to get long in the tooth. You see the bullpen getting active for the Racers now for the first time.
Yeah, Steady has been one of the main cogs in their bullpen. Wanted to get to him as soon as they can, and right now, situation Silva just buying a little bit of time, trying to get Steady hot.
Ben Miller and that big mustache was the state of North Carolina's 4A Player of the Year his senior year just down the road at Jordan High School. Trying to help lead a comeback, and it's 3-0 to him.
Normally, I'd say he probably has a green light to go ahead and get something good to hit here, but down 7 runs. You need base runners. You need the next man up.
Let's see if Miller has the green light. He takes ball 4. Back-to-back walks. Isaac Silva at the end of his rope, it appears. We'll see if he faces another hitter.
He's had some
Now
pretty
batting
good
the
success
first
with Jake
baseman,
Hyde.
number 16, Jake
Sinkers
Hyde.
down, got him to roll into a double play to end the third. Struck him out in the first.
Jake Hyde, guy you got to tread lightly to. 11 homers, 65 runs batted in. 2 on, first pitch. It's down. First time Duke has runners in scoring position today. The 1-0. And good cut there. Fouls it off.
So he's looking to get a sinker down, bottom of the zone. Trying to get a ground ball to the right side, see if he can get a double play and try to get out of this jam.
Boy, that is lined but foul. Now here's Duke in a situation that Murray seemed to be in constantly yesterday, needing a big hit with runners on. It's a pretty good catch there by that guy on one hop. A standing room only here at Jack Coombs Field. That's outside, 2-2 to Hyde.
Boy, that's a good pitch. Tries to go backdoor slider. Just did not quite execute it.
Murray's team ERA at the regionals was 11, worst among the teams to advance to the super regional round. Gave up 44 earned runs, but got really big outs at big times. And now time is called. Will Vierling having communications issues, and so time is granted. Steve Adkins comes out. They're going to try and reset that communications watch.
Welcome to baseball in 2025. My watch isn't working, Clay.
North Carolina leading 3-1 in the 8th in Chapel Hill, just down the road. Tar Heels trying to move on to Omaha with a win today. Durham, if they can mount a comeback, would go crazy. Duke down 7 here in the 6th. Chop to first. Stoney's going to take it to the bag for the first out. Gracia to third, Miller to second. And that's a big out for Isaac Silva.
Ball was
Now
not
batting
hit
the
hard
left
enough.
fielder, number 8,
Stoney
Ben
couldn't
Round.
do anything with it. Thought he might try to get the lead out at second base. Silva got the result that he wanted. He wanted a nice ground ball. Hyde's already ground into one double play.
Now here's Ben Rounds, who's 0 for 2. Now, Isaac Silva, in the grand scheme of things, still has a lot of pitches left, you would think. He's only at 81.
No, he's been very efficient after that first inning. I mean, home runs don't take very many pitches up.
Jack Coombs Field, built in 1931. It was dedicated to Coombs in 1951. A longtime head coach of the Blue Devils. Foul back to that old-fashioned grandstand. So Chris Pollard has always said he wants to make this the Cameron Indoor of college baseball. Cameron Indoor, the home of the basketball teams, just across the way. 2-1, slice foul. No, it's fair. That's a fair ball for Ben Rounds, down the line and into the corner. 2 runs are going to score here in the 6th. And it's now 10-5. Just fair for Ben Rounds. It's a big hit for Duke as that dugout comes to life again.
Initially off the bat, I thought this thing was foul. Just carves this sinker down and away. Great piece of hitting and a much needed extra base hit. 2 RBIs.
And Isaac Silva is going to be done here in the 6th inning. What a game for him. He was fantastic in the regional. Pitches into the 6th here in the Super Regional round. And Jacob Hestetti going to make an appearance here with 1 out. And trying to keep this a 5-run lead now for Murray State. Isaac Silva will get a nice little round of applause from the Racers fans here in Durham.
The new How to Train Your Dragon menu is now at BK. Get it before it disappears. Ooh, toothless. Bold, tasty, and dangerously delicious. How to Train Your Dragon. Coming to theaters June 13th.
Hello, hello, hello. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hello.
Maybe it's your drive up that's ready when you are. Just tap Target.
This was another battle-hardened outing from Isaac Silva, who has shown tenacity throughout the season. 5 1/3 innings, gives up 5 earned runs, but he's in line for the win should Murray State force this to Monday. But he's going to give way to Jacob Hestetti, who got 2 big outs in the 7th against Ole Miss in the regional opener, struggled in the regional final against Ole Miss. Gave up 2 runs in the 7th inning of that game without recording an out. So good outing, a bad outing last weekend. We'll see what he does here today in a critical spot.
Yeah, overall it's been pretty solid. Fastball is going to be 87 to 92. Slider, curveball change. You see a true overhand hook out of Hestetti.
First hitter he's going to face is Tyler Albright, who's 0 for 2. Fly out and ground out. The junior from Greensboro. And look at that. Can't snap it off. He was trying to break that curveball that you were talking about, Greg. It's like you said, it's got a big shape, traditional 12-6.
And that happens every once in a while when you don't get quite a good grip on the baseball, it comes spinning out and you leave it right over the top of a right-handed hitter. I've done that once or twice.
You had that kind of hook. This was pretty devastating. Time called. And that's going to be a warning. Pitcher didn't deliver in time. That's going to be a ball. So it's 2-1 now on the hitter Tyler Albright as Hestetti appears a little rattled, the sophomore from Breese, Illinois. There's a fastball for a strike, 2-2. So Murray State, as we talked about, led Ole Miss 12-3 in the regional final in the 7th and barely held on for the win. As Ole Miss scored 5 in the 7th, 3 in the 8th. It's on the bullpen again here for the Racers, trying to protect a big lead. This is a ground ball. Scooped up by Cunningham. The throw on the run in time to retire Tyler Albright. And we talked about the freshman shortstop Cunningham making what is a really tough play look pretty routine.
Yeah, nice effort. Curveball down in the zone. Nice running throw, and that's one thing you're seeing nowadays. These young shortstops are just so good at this play right here. Make it look so easy.
2 down for Sam Harris as Ben Rounds is now at third base for the 7-hole hitter and designated hitter. Harris looking for his first hit of the weekend. 0 for 2 today. Had that big 2-run RBI in the 8th inning against Oklahoma State last weekend. Checks his swing, gets away from home plate. Coming in is Rounds, he'll score. And now Duke is down 4 runs. Getting that run in for the Blue Devils is huge.
I was a fastball curveball guy, much like Steady. You have to trust your catcher. I don't want to lose one of my best pitches because I'm going to throw it in the dirt. This one, Fearling just does not square it up and keep it in front. Big 2-out run scored.
Outside to Harris, 3-0. And Macon Winslow, who's 1 for 2 today in the 8-hole, is on deck. Walked him. 2-out walk. And Hustetti did get the ground ball from Albright, but you can see that it hasn't been smooth, and the bullpen active again for Murray State. Graham Kellum has been terrific here in the postseason for Murray State. I'm sure if Dan Skirka had his druthers, you wouldn't want to use him in a situation like this. Seems awfully early for their closer.
It's awfully early, but we saw it yesterday with Duke, with Easterly. Got in the 7th, had to get 9 outs. Sure, he would like Steady to get out of this inning. Give him 1 hitter to start the 7th. Let him see if he can get on a roll, and then you get to your closer.
One strike to Macon Winslow, the catcher. Grew up a couple of hours away from here in Hertford, North Carolina. Sophomore in Duke blue. Made the Athens All-Regional team. Had to hit his first time up today. Check swing on the breaking ball. He went around. 1-2. Steady trying to get Murray State back to the dugout after a 3-run inning so far for Duke. They want an appeal. Brandon Cooper, the first base umpire, says no, he didn't go. Now, innings that start with walks tend to go badly. That's how this one started for Isaac Silva, the starter for the Racers. Couple of walks. 2-2 pitch, and on the hands, foul ground. Mistoni, the first baseman, back to the infield. Oh, what an effort. Runs into the barricade there and almost came up with a terrific catch.
Man, what an effort. Looked like he might have jammed his wrist into this fence.
Ooh, hit his face too, I think. Did he keep his head off of that barricade?
was close.
Just off the plate, full count here to Winslow. Berger on deck. He would like a chance here in the 6th inning, as Murray State is trying to keep the wheels on. Hammered to left. Deep. Goodbye, home run. Macon Winslow. His 8th of the year. And now Duke is within 2.
Got yourself painted into a corner, trying to land at breaking ball and finish the at-bat. Get to a 3-2 count, and you leave a slider spinning at the top of the zone. Winslow adds his 8th home run, and here comes Duke.
We've talked about this Duke lineup. It has length. Winslow, not a prototypical 8-hole hitter. That's his 8th bomb of the year. His 2nd hit of the day. And now Jake Berger at the dish. The 8th man to hit in the inning. And time is called. Will Vierling is going to walk out. This likely the precursor to another pitching change. There's Graham Kellum, their right-hander, their closer.
Trying to buy him a couple more pitches. You'd like to give him a clean inning, clean slate. Nobody on base, 9-hole guy. You don't want this thing to get to the top of the lineup. The way those guys, Clark, Gracia, and Miller, are swinging it.
A 5-run inning for the Blue Devils. Just when it looked like Murray State was ready to go on cruise control and pack it up and get ready for a game on Monday night. Duke having other ideas.
Everybody that is a Murray State fan is now having the echoes and the cobwebs of the Ole Miss game coming right back to them.
I know you like that hard hat, too. Jake Berger puts it in foul territory. Strike 1.
I really like the hard hat, Brad.
You're a blue-collar guy. You're a Nebraska guy. You know,
I feel like I fit in with both teams. The blue collar, and then, you know, Coach Skirka's calling them dirt bags, and I was a dirt bag, so, you know.
You can relate to both.
I can relate to both teams.
1 strike to Berger. Just missed. 1-1. Remember Keegan? We checked on him a few innings ago when this game was in control for the Razors. Now a little nervous. Keegan Skirka. It's down. It's 2-1.
Yeah, now he's trying something different. Move the sunglasses to the back of his hat. He's like, all right, these aren't working right doing this way, so.
Dad's team still has a 2-run lead here in the 6th inning. 2 outs. Jake Berger pops it up. It's going to stay on the infield. Don Decker, second baseman, called off. Cunningham will make the catch on the right side of second base for the 3rd out. But what an inning for the Blue Devils, and the fans here at Jack Coombs Field come to their feet. 8 batters, 5 runs. A couple of extra base hits. And this was the big blow. Macon Winslow, his home run to left field. Look at that Duke dugout. It has come to life. 2-run game in Durham.
Fire it up.
The all-new Dragon Flame Grilled Whopper is here at BK. Bold, juicy, flame grilled, and ready for adventure. Experience a new kind of flame at Burger King. How to Train Your Dragon, coming to theaters June 13th.
Businesses are the backbone of our communities, and Bank of America is the best bank for small and medium-sized businesses. With over 3,700 dedicated business specialists across the nation, we're on your corner and in your corner. Because when businesses prosper, communities thrive. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America. Contact one of our local business specialists at bankofamerica.com/local business.
monsters come, all you can do is scream.
You were the last person to see the president alive. Did you kill him?
They will never see us coming.
Better?
Yes, better.
Jack Coombs Field, 94 years old. This is the first time that postseason baseball has been played here. That picture from March of 1932. And they have built this stadium up over the decades to what it looks like now. And they're still going through a phase to bring it around, and some updates that are coming in the near future. There's Jack Coombs, his statue outside of field that's named after him. He was a great ball player for the Philadelphia A's back in the early part of the 20th century. Won 31 games one year before retiring and then becoming the longtime head coach of the Duke program. Murray State still playing with the lead, but things have gotten interesting here as the Racers hit in the bottom of the 6th inning. Dom Decker, Luke Mastoni, and Will Vierling to face Edward Hart. Yet another left-hander pitching now for the Duke Blue Devils.
Yeah, four-seam, two-seam mix on the fastball, 86 to 89, slider, changeup. Big reverse split guy. Really gets righties out a lot better than he gets lefties. Gets righties out at a 133 clip. Lefties are hitting 325.
And he's trying to find the strike zone. Falls behind the leadoff man Decker, 3-0. Decker had that 2-run double in the 4th inning when the Racers scored 5 times. Duke just scored 5 times in the 6th. So it's been about big innings today, and there's the first strike from Edward Hart, making his first appearance since May 23rd. He's only had 9 2/3 innings of work all year. Big spot here for Hart. Inside on the hands, gets the ground ball to Miller. Strong throw from a guy who's still bothered on that right hand, that throwing hand for Miller. But he zipped it across. 1 down.
A little bit of time to get this situated in his throwing hand, but once he did, good clean throw. No problems there.
You see Jake Hyde, who made the catch at first base, a little acknowledgement. They know what Ben Miller is going through. He took a pitch off the hand in the regionals, missed the regional final, but he's gutting it out. The hometown hero. Popped up, foul ground. This could be playable for Hyde. No, it won't. You know, with college baseball the way it is now with the NIL and that name, image, and likeness thing, some mustache wax company somewhere should be coming after this guy. I mean, Ben Miller's got a great mustache.
He's not a bad hitter either.
No.
You know.
We've seen that. Racers first baseman Mastoni at the plate.
I don't think my mustache is long enough. I'll work on that, though, for next next year's regionals for you.
I would like to see that.
Oh, Raleigh fingers right there.
That's line foul. Well, Arizona has just taken the lead over North Carolina in the 8th inning. The Tar Heels had a lead, couldn't hold on, and so now the Wildcats making it interesting. The team from the Big 12 trying to punch a ticket to Omaha. Wildcats in their first year in the Big 12. In the conference tournament in Arlington a couple of weeks ago.
Is that just weird for you to say? The Wildcats in the Big 12?
As it is for Arizona State. Yep. As it is for the Utes of Utah. Luke Mastoni, an RBI single today, but he swings and misses here. 2 up, 2 down for Edward Hart.
Screwball changeup. Gets on the inside of it, creates a little spin to get away from Mastoni.
Now batting the catcher, number 17,
Just
Will
could not
Fairley.
lay off. This ball ended up like 6-8 inches outside. You don't see those anymore, little screwball changeups.
Well, you can see Macon Winslow's catcher just acknowledging big fist pump there.
Yeah, well, they know how big every out is.
Big second out. And now here's Will Vierling at the plate, and he's quickly behind in the count. You know, remember how this inning started for Edward Hart. He fell behind the leadoff man, Don Decker, 3-0. But eventually got him to ground out. And now gets a strikeout of Mastoni. Vierling 2 for 3, couple of runs batted in. Trying to throw Hart off his rhythm.
Oh, we got a little bit of a shift on. If Vierling's able to get a bunt past the side of the pitcher's mound, there is nobody to field it down the third base line.
That's what he's thinking. And another one that's scooped up by Winslow. 2 balls and a strike.
See, Wallace Clark's trying to make a little bit of an adjustment to get over there, but the key to this one is just a push bunt to the left side. Just make sure that you get it by the pitcher.
Swung on and missed. 2-2. Vierling, couple of hits today, had one yesterday. And an RBI double in that big 5-run fourth. Trying to get something going for the Racers with 2 outs as Duke has the momentum. Checked his swing. Did he go? No. And so the count is full on the Racers catcher.
This is what Coach Skirka said about the Ole Miss game. It was like, I just wanted to get some guys in there, and I knew our offense was going to keep scoring, but they didn't.
Walked him. 2-out walk to Will Vierling. So Edward Hart gives up
Now batting the left fielder, number
his first free
37,
pass.
Dan Hawkins.
And now Dan Tocken will come up. Tocken today 0 for 3. One of 2 guys in this Murray State lineup without a hit. The other one is Bermeo, who's in the on-deck circle. It's outside. Three runs in the first, 2 in the second, 5 in the fourth for Murray State today. My, hit a ton but foul. That's the thing about Dan Tocken. He has great power. 10 home runs, 73 RBIs. As you look at Bermeo in the on-deck circle. Even though he's in the 7th spot in this order, this guy has numbers like a cleanup hitter. That's outside, 2-1. It's kind of counterintuitive because the real cleanup hitter, Don Decker, doesn't have a home run.
Well, there's theories of layering your lineup with a couple of different spots in the order where you can get a cleanup guy to do some damage. You know, somebody needs to clean up the 4, 5, 6 guys that are some of your best hitters. And all year it has been Dan Tocken, who's got just pop to all fields.
Vierling at first. 2 outs. Here's the 2-2 from Hart. Outside, full count again. There's Chris Pollard, a concerned look. Dan Skirka also concerned. Fouled into the netting over the Murray State dugout. Duke trying to get to Omaha with a win today. They would do that for the first time since John F. Kennedy was into his term, just 6 months into his presidency. Murray State has never been to the College World Series. Struck him out. Edward Hart showing some heart here in the 6th inning. Keep Murray State off the board. So we have played 6. Duke coming back to the plate, down 2.
In need of outs, Edward Hart. Fastball away, big punch out. Here comes Duke.
Fire it up.
The all-new Dragon Flame Grilled Whopper is here at BK. Bold, juicy, flame grilled, and ready for adventure. Experience a new kind of flame at Burger King. How to Train Your Dragon, coming to theaters June 13th.
There's a kind of magic to making memories, to finding time for the little things and the big things, the new things, and the things you'll do over and over again. It's the magic of a job well done and a well-deserved day of rest, of living life to the fullest with the people you'd never want to live without. Fairway, closed on Sunday, open for life.
When businesses thrive, so do our communities.
My name is Oscar Zavaleta. I'm the principal for the Montes Group. I just knew that I wanted to be the person that made the decisions. Without Bank of America, the growth of our company would have been difficult. The way I look at it is Bank of America is one of my partners.
Unlock new possibilities for your business and community. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America. Contact one of our local business specialists at bankofamerica.com/local business.
It was 10-3 Murray State going into the 6th inning, but that's when Isaac Silva, the starter for the Murray State Racers, started to get into trouble. Walked the first two guys he faced, a 2-run single by Ben Rounds. He would come in to score on a wild pitch. Another walk and then a 2-run homer by Macon Winslow. 5 runs in all for the Blue Devils in the 6th inning, and they are back in this one. As it's 10-8. We head to the 7th now. Kyle Johnson started this game. He was the big hero yesterday. 4 hits at the plate, including a home run, couple of doubles, drove in 5. Wasn't great on the mound today, but he battled, gave him 3 innings. The Racers' offense, terrific. Got out to that 10-3 start. But now you feel that Duke has the momentum. And if they can come all the way back and get a win today, they're on to Omaha.
Yeah, and they have answered real well last inning. Almost felt like they were done, but get a big 5 spot, and Macon Winslow caps it off with a 2-run bomb.
Graham Kellum on the mound for Murray State. Wallace Clark, first pitch swinging, lifts it into center field. Coming in is Hogart, and he'll get there to make the catch. So Clark is out on 1 pitch, and that's a really big out for Graham Kellum. The closer for Murray State is asked to get a lot of outs here at the end of this ball game. He's Greg Olson. I'm Clay Matvick. This is game 2 of the Durham Super Regional. Duke trying to get back to Omaha for the first time since 1961. Murray State trying to make program history. Getting to Omaha for the first time ever. They've got to win today and win again tomorrow. A.J. Gracia's had a good day. 1 for 2 with a home run and a couple of runs scored. Check the swing, and he held up. A.J. Gracia, I mean, he represents the hard hat culture that Duke has fostered here. Second team All ACC, projected first rounder next year. He hit 14 homers, drove in 58 runs last year. His numbers very similar this year. Just a fabulous freshman season. And I think that this walk here has Dan Skirka on edge, because here comes Duke again. Tying run coming to the plate. Graham Kellum, their closer, comes in the 7th inning, trying to do what the closer for Duke yesterday, Reed Easterly, was asked to do. Get a 3-inning save.
Got off to a good start with that first pitch pop-up, and then 4 straight balls to Gracia. It's a lot to ask for a closer, but this guy has factored in every one of his last 10 games, either a win or a save. Fastball's 89-93, more of a 4-seam. Slider, curveball, changeup, 4-pitch mix.
Saved all 3 games in Oxford. Ben Miller. Home run in the 1st, walked and a run scored in the 6th. And he according to Chris Pollard, understands how pitchers try to get him out. He really climbs into the pitcher's head. And always has a great plan at the plate. He's got a hitter's count here, 2-0.
That's the approach you need to have to get to the next level. Miller's already early for that, of just going up there with a game plan, hoping to be on the same page with the pitcher, go chasing exactly what he wants to, how to get you out.
Kellum's 2-0, and that's a strike.
Just took a little bit off a BP changeup, about 85 miles an hour.
Breaking ball, caught the inside corner. You see Ben Miller didn't agree with Craig Harmon, the home plate umpire, but it's now even at 2. Here's another look. Oh, I don't know.
That was close. Nice job behind the plate by Miller, freeing that up.
2-2 pitch, swung on and missed. Huge strikeout for Graham Kellum. And there are 2 down.
Kellum just showed him the whole mix. Couple of fastballs early miss. 2-0 changeup, gets back into the count. Breaking ball, he lands on the inside corner. And then let's feature a slider to get him for the punch out.
Murray State trying to protect the lead that they have enjoyed since the bottom of the 2nd inning. Duke with a big 6th inning. 2 outs now with a man on. And hit well by Jake Hyde, but this is going to be the 3rd out. Hogard there. And Gracia is stranded at first. Stretch time in Durham. Murray by 2.
Fire it up.
The all-new Dragon Flame Grilled Whopper is here at BK. Bold, juicy, flame grilled, and ready for adventure. Experience a new kind of flame at Burger King. How to Train Your Dragon, coming to theaters June 13th.
All I wanted to do was help kids and families. Bank of America was just so important with getting things started.
I feel we are growing together with Bank of America.
Had the opportunity to meet with Bank of America. That's what lifts communities like ours.
What would you like the power to do? Bank of America. Contact one of our local business specialists at bankofamerica.com/local business.
Got one more, Antoine.
With USPS Ground Advantage, it's like you're with us every step of the way.
Right on time.
Stay in the know from your dock to their door.
History of 4 seeds making it to Omaha. Remember Oral Roberts just a couple of years ago? How about Stony Brook in 2012 coming out of that Baton Rouge Super Regional, upsetting LSU? Fresno State, of course, in 2008. One of the last teams into the field won the whole thing. The national champions, the Cinderellas. Can Murray State, as a 4 seed, coming out of Oxford last weekend, can they get it done here in Durham 2 days in a row and get on to Omaha for the first time in program history? As for Duke, it's been a long time too. 3 times they've been to the College World Series, but it's been a long time. 1961, 64 years ago. Last time the Blue Devils were in the Big O. Murray State hitting here, bottom of the 7th, leading by 2. Nico Bermeo to lead it off, followed by Cunningham and Hogard. 8, 9, and 1.
Murray State's got to try to find a way to add, get a couple of runs, help your defense and your closer out.
Edward Hart came on last inning for Duke. And even though he walked a hitter, Struck out 2 and got out of the inning without any damage. Nico Bermeo looking for his first hit of the Super Regional. 0 for 3 yesterday. 0 for 3 today. That's down and in. 1-2. Murray State has had a good track record when leading late. 31-1 when leading after 6 innings. A lone loss to Evansville in March. They've got their closer on. And Kellum looked good last inning. Graham Kellum being asked to, get a 3-inning save. That last inning, he did walk 1, but he looked pretty sharp. The other hitters.
Yeah, he got a couple of first pitch outs. And when you're trying to get 9 outs and be efficient with your pitches, he's been very good this year. 75% first pitch strike rate with that fastball, and Duke is trying to jump it and giving him quick early outs.
And walked him. Bermeo is aboard to start the 7th. Let's give you an update in the other Super Regionals. Louisville has just taken a lead on Miami, as that series is tied. And Arizona leads North Carolina in the top of the 9th, 4-3. As Arizona is trying to get to Omaha. Coming out of the Big 12. North Carolina took game 1 of that series. Arizona came back after getting demolished in the first game, got game 2, and now coming from behind trying to punch a ticket to the College World Series. Here's Connor Cunningham. Tries to bunt, and that's a strike. 1-1. Cunningham a couple of strikeouts today, but a single and a run scored in that 5-run 4th. Murray State hasn't scored since. Bullpen has been sharp.
Might see Cunningham try again to get this bunt down. He's got 3 of the Murray State 7 sacrifice bunts.
Wasn't attempting there. That's outside, 2-1. There you see Bermeo at first. Murray State would love some insurance. 2-2.
Bermeo not a big threat to run 1 of 2 and stolen bases.
Edward Hart, long look, 2-2. That's down and away, a full count. And the top of the order and Hogart on deck. And Hogart has been unable to be put out today. He's been on 4 times. 3-2, and this is lined into center field. That's a base knock. Cunningham, his second hit. Bermeo stops at second base, and that'll turn the lineup over. Here come the Racers again. 2 on, nobody out in the 7th.
Well, Coach Skirka knows better than I do. I was probably having Cunningham bunt, but he gets a 3-2 fastball, gets a predictable pitch and a predictable count. Fastball middle of the plate, and he takes it right back up the box. Freeze on the line drive.
So here's Hogart. But I don't know that he is going to face Edward Hart. Here comes Brady Kirkpatrick, the pitching coach again. The 1 through 3 hitters for Murray State have been fantastic. They've reached in 9 of 12 plate appearances. And now that Murray is back to the top of the order, Duke may decide to make a pitching change.
Got a couple of probably the slowest walks out to the mound, trying to give their next guy a chance to get hot. Yeah. Indy's been going for a little while, so should be good to go.
Yep, here he comes. Second appearance of the Super Regional for Mark Hindy. And what would you expect? Another left-hander, of course. We'll step aside. It's getting tense again in Durham.
The new How to Train Your Dragon menu is now at BK. Get it before it disappears. Oh, toothless. Bold, tasty, and dangerously delicious. How to Train Your Dragon. Coming to theaters June 13th.
Businesses are the backbone of our communities. And Bank of America is the best bank for small and medium-sized businesses. With over 3,700 dedicated business specialists across the nation, we're on your corner and in your corner. Because when businesses prosper, communities thrive. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America. Contact one of our local business specialists at bankofamerica.com/localbusiness.
Drive with confidence in a new SUV from Woodhouse Nissan. Like the versatile 2025 Nissan Rogue, designed for comfort, technology, and adventure. Serving our metro for over 20 years, this is Woodhouse Nissan.
There's a kind of magic to making memories, to finding time for the little things and the big things, the new things, and the things you'll do over and over again. It's the magic of a job well done and a well-deserved day of rest, of living life to the fullest with the people you'd never want to live without. Fairway, closed on...
We have seen 18 total runs scored today, but you could argue this leadoff home run by Jonathan Hogarth in the first inning, first pitch that Murray State saw all day, was the biggest run because Murray State was down 2 at the time. And it immediately put the brakes on Duke's early momentum and swung it back to Murray State's way. They scored 3 in the first inning and really haven't looked back as far as the game has gone.
Yeah, I mean, he's notorious for trying to jump first pitches, 7 leadoff home runs this year, and he does it at the biggest time when Murray State needed it the most.
Well, Mark Hindy making his second appearance of the Super Regional through yesterday, got just 1 out. Gave up a couple of runs, couple of walks, had not allowed a run in his prior 9 appearances before yesterday, but he's been used a ton out of the Duke bullpen this year, and he is the 4th left-hander to throw today.
Had shoulder issues late last summer, came in, was limited in early January, February. His numbers weren't very good.
There's a warning to Hindy as Jonathan Hogarth had not made eye contact yet, and now we're ready to go. Hindy trying to protect this situation where Duke has come back down 7-3 at one point, within 2. 2 on, nobody out. Nico Bermeo at second base. Connor Cunningham is at first base for the Racers with nobody out.
Duke into a little bit of a shift right now. Let's see if Hogarth can shoot something to right field. He's trying to.
That one's lifted into foul ground and out of play.
You can see that look right there. He's trying to tell himself to stay inside of it. Big open hole between first and second. But with 2 strikes, you're kind of limited on what you're trying to do as a hitter. You're just trying to get it in play. But Hindy's going to really try to work the fastball in on the hands or the little cutter that he's so good at.
Mark Hindy, big strikeout of Hogarth, 1 down.
He shows him fastballs early, and that little cut fastball breaks about 4 or 5 inches, and it's about 5 or 6 miles an hour off the fastball, and that speed difference was enough. Location wasn't that great on the pitch, but the speed difference was.
Dustin Mercer has 3 hits today for the Racers. The 1 through 3 hitters for Murray State, 5 for 9, a couple of home runs, and 7 runs scored. Dangerous part of the lineup. Hindy is pounding the zone. It's now a ball and a strike.
So I love you get the experience of a guy like Hindy. Doesn't have a great day yesterday. You wear it for about 5 hours, and then you wake up the next day and let's go. It's a new day.
Breaking ball in there for strike 2. It's imperative Duke keeps this a 2-run deficit. Ground ball, going to be tough for 2, and they won't get any. Jake Berger, that's his second error of the day. And now the bases are loaded.
This is going to be a really tough play. He's got to avoid the base runner, or the base runner actually has to avoid him. So Cunningham does a nice job of getting close, but not getting into the play of it. But just a little bit of distraction. Berger tries to round it and try to make a quick play and just could not glove it.
They're actually going to say base hit for Dustin Mercer. That's his 4th hit today. Bases loaded, 1 out. And here's Garner, who had a 2-run homer in the second inning.
And that play had a big chance to be a big second out and strand those runners at second and third.
Stays high, 2-0. So North Carolina knocked off by Arizona. Arizona out of the Big 12 on to the College World Series. Down and in. North Carolina looked so good in game 1. Arizona bounced back game 2, won today in come from behind fashion. Just down the road in Chapel Hill. Look at Murray State today, 6 for 14 with runners in scoring position. And there's a strike on the inside corner on that 3-0 fastball. Mark Hindy trying to protect this situation. Duke is only down 2, but the bases are loaded with 1 out. And now full count.
You get your back against the wall. You got to dance with the date that brung you. And Hindy's got fastball and or a cutter. Pounding that fastball in on Garner, right where you need to be these big power hitters. You need to work in.
Outside, walked him. A run comes in. And it's now 11-8. RBI walk for Carson Garner.
Thought Hindy had gotten back into the zone. Fastball's in and was pounding it. And this one looked like he just tried to jump on it a little too much. Cutter left spinning up and out.
And now he has to pitch to Dom Decker, who has been a very tough out in this Super Regional. 4 for 5 yesterday, couple of runs batted in. 1 for 3 today with a couple of runs batted in. Chop to first and into right field, base hit. 1 run is in. Cunningham scores and Mercer right behind him. Garner stops at second. It's a 2-run base hit for Dom Decker. He continues to deliver, and it's now 13-8.
You said it in the break. This whole thing kind of felt different when Kellum came into the game, and this offense opens up, which they were unable to do at Ole Miss last week. And Decker again getting it done. Seeing eye ground ball in the 43 hole.
Well, this inning started coming off the hinges for Duke after Bermeo walked to start the inning against Edward Hart. And Hart gave up the base hit to Cunningham. And since Mark Hindy has come on, he's given up a couple of hits and a walk that scored a run. So it's now 13-8 Murray State. Another pitching change here in Durham.
Fire it up.
The all-new Dragon Flame Grilled Whopper is here at BK. Bold, juicy, flame grilled, and ready for adventure. Experience a new kind of flame at Burger King. How to Train Your Dragon, coming to theaters June 13th.
Businesses are the backbone of our communities. And Bank of America is the best bank for small and medium-sized businesses. With over 3,700 dedicated business specialists across the nation, we're on your corner and in your corner. Because when businesses prosper, communities thrive. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America. Contact one of our local business specialists at bankofamerica.com/localbusiness.
When the monsters come, all you can do is scream.
You were the last person to see the president alive. Did you kill him?
They will never see us coming.
Better?
Yeah, better.
Another big inning for Murray State. First runs for the Racers since the fourth. And now they have 13 runs on 13 hits. They widen that lead to 5 as they're not done here in the 7th inning. So they force another pitching change for Duke. Here comes Ryan Calvert, a right-hander. A transfer from UNC Wilmington. Just 1 out. And 2 on, the situation that he inherits. Third pitcher of this inning, Edward Hart started it. Gave up a walk and a single. Mark Hindy faced 4 batters, was able to get 1 out. And now Ryan Calvert trying to keep this within arm's reach for Duke.
Fastball is going to be 89-92, cutter, slider. Fastball really plays up in the zone, a riding fastball.
Luke Mistoni, junior first baseman.
That was really close to a balk.
Mistoni, the transfer from Cal State Fullerton, had 9 hits in the Oxford Regional. Swung out and missed. Mistoni, an RBI single in the first inning. Drove in a run yesterday, also had a base hit. Let's see what he has done with runners in scoring position this year. Very respectable, 354. That's almost into center field. Berger. And to climb the ladder to keep that from going into center.
Just trying to disengage and throw the ball to second base. A spin move, a blind look. It looks like Calvert was just trying to hang on to it and not make a bad throw, and he almost made that bad throw.
How about Ryan Calvert going right back to it?
You got to practice it, Clay. I mean, it's something you got to work on a little bit. So, hey, no better time than right now than try a couple of back picks at second base.
Carson Garner at second, Dom Decker at first. 3 runs already in for the Racers this inning. As they expand their lead to 5, that has to feel a lot more comfortable now for Dan Skirka. Remember, it was 10-3 at one point, and then Duke climbs back to make it a 2-run game, but now it's a 5-run lead for the Racers. And they need 6 defensive outs.
Keep an eye on Garner, their best base runners at second base, and he is trying to time up this jump. 14-15 in stolen bases on the year.
2-1 from Ryan Calvert. That's a strike, 2-2. This is the 7th time in the last 11 games that Murray State has scored 10 or more runs. That's in the turf. Knocked down Winslow. Pounces quickly. Yeah, we've seen him do that a ton.
This pitch was in the left-handed batter's box. Spiked curveball, I call it a smother hook. Where you're just so focused on creating the spin, you get a little bit of, your wrist gets closed, and all you can do is really just bury it in the dirt at about 57 feet.
2 on, 1 out, the 3-2. Sprayed. Picked up by the first baseman. They're only going to get 1. Jake Hyde on the backhand. Gets the force at second base. Over to third goes Garner. So runners at the corners and 2 outs now for Murray State here in the 7th inning.
Nice job by Mastoni. Defensively hitting on the 2 strikes. How about that?
13 runs today. And, 4 extra base hits. I think that's also been key. And we talked about the importance of Hogarth's home run right away. An extra base hit right away on the first pitch of the game. And it really sent a message that, yeah, we've got a different approach here today. They couldn't string the hits together yesterday. They've done that today. They've had some potent offense. And this was a big response here in the 7th. After Duke had carried the momentum for about 3 innings.
Yeah, this is exactly what didn't happen against Ole Miss. Skirka brings in his closer, thinks that they're going to add a couple more runs at Ole Miss. This time he brings in his closer, and the offense responds with a 5 spot so far, and we're still not done. That offensive meeting right there, Clay, was just setting up this 1st and 3rd, and what kind of game that Murray State's going to try to put on.
And again, the left-handed hitting Will Vierling, the catcher. He's had a nice day. A couple of hits. He's driven in 2. He's also walked. 50 runs batted in now for Vierling. Former Louisville Cardinal. Louisville, by the way, leading Miami 3-2 in the bottom of the 8th. That's a deciding game in the Louisville Super Regional. And taking a base, Luke Mastoni. Aggressive there, smart base running. Now base hit with plate 2.
Yep, nice read. Ball in the dirt, takes off. He knows that once the ball gets in the dirt, there's no way they're going to make a throw down to second base.
And another one in the dirt.
Go, Will.
Ryan Calvert, 3rd arm this inning. First right-hander this inning. Trying to get that 3rd out. Line drive over the glove of Hyde into right field. Garner scores. Mastoni scores. 2-run double. Will Vierling. 4 runs batted in for the Racers catcher. And it's 15-8.
Almost identical to what he did in the 4th inning. Double. This changeup is left elevated. He spins it down the right field line. Big 2-run double just over the outstretched glove of Jake Hyde. Instead, he's going, keep sending them, keep sending them.
And now Dan Tonkin, the 9th man to hit for the Racers in the inning. This is the 2nd, make it 3rd inning, pardon me. 3rd inning today where Murray State has sent 9 to the plate. Hit well. Carrying. Goodbye home run. Dan Tonkin. His first hit of the Super Regional. It's his 11th home run. And now it almost looks insurmountable for Duke. It's 17-8 Racers.
106 off the bat. Cut fastball that does not get in, left spinning inside part of the plate. And that's the end of the day for Calvert. Might be the end of the day for Duke.
RBIs 74 and 75 for Tonkin. We said he's not your prototypical 7-hole hitter. And Duke fans obviously disappointed. They thought that tonight was the night that a ticket to Omaha gets punched. And it still could. It still could be the night. But now 9 down with just 6 outs to work with. That's a tough pill to swallow for these fans.
Yeah, they got back into it. Offense opened it back up.
Another pitching change. We step aside in Durham.
The new How to Train Your Dragon menu is now at BK. Get it before it disappears. Oh, toothless. Bold, tasty, and dangerously delicious. How to Train Your Dragon. Coming to theaters June 13th.
For 25 years, Greg Young Automotive Group has been your trusted hometown dealer. And now we're giving back. To celebrate, we're giving you a 5-year complimentary maintenance package with every new or used vehicle purchase. With a massive inventory, top dollar for your trade-in, and a commitment to exceptional customer service, it's no wonder why people keep coming back.
Greg Young, we go the extra mile for you.
It's a rare thing when someone you've been with for so long finds a way to surprise you. It's like discovering E-Trade's easy-to-use platform now comes with the power of Morgan Stanley.
Mom can speak walrus?
Where you go when you dream should feel extraordinary. Boll and Branch signature sheets are softer with every wash. Let extraordinary take over, only at Boll and Branch.
Well, after Tyrese Halliburton's last-second game winner, we're going to have Game 2 of the NBA Finals tonight, 8 Eastern on ABC. Pacers up 1-0 over the Thunder after a great comeback win. Coverage tips with NBA content at 7:30. It's safe to say that the most famous sports alum from the Murray State family, Ja Morant, terrific guard, now at the Memphis Grizzlies. Number 2 overall pick, not that long ago. I can't believe, though, it's already 6 years. Doesn't seem that long ago. Ja Morant might be watching this. Very proud, I'm sure, of his Racers, what they have done. What an inning they have already had here in the 7th, and they're not done. They've forced another pitching change. Ryan Calvert didn't last long. Now here comes Ryan Higgins.
Higgins going to feed fastball 90-93. A lot of ride at the top of the zone, slider and changeup. Looking to get this very difficult 3rd out here in the 7th.
Nico Bermeo started the inning with a leadoff walk here in the 7th. Well, now he gets hit. And Bermeo doesn't even look down Higgins' way. This is the 15th appearance for Higgins.
Now batting the shortstop, number
dealing
14,
with a lat pull, a couple of neck issues lately, so limited his outings.
Yeah. In a spot where he's just trying to eat an inning or two. You don't want to use their high leverage bullpen arms at this point. So Bermeo is on, and here comes Cunningham again. And he launches one to right center. This has a chance to get out. For the freshman, goodbye home run. Connor Cunningham, his 3rd hit today. A 2-run shot, and it's 19-8.
This is a lot of what Murray State did in the Oxford Regional. They had 15 hits on first pitches. 7 of them were extra base hits. This is the 2nd home run today on the first pitch fastball. These guys are hunting four-seam fastballs, looking early in the count to do damage. And the freshman with his 7th home run on a fastball left up and out over, and he took it up and out over.
4th home run today for the Racers. And that is a new NCAA tournament record. 19 runs scored for Murray State. Program high. And here's Hogard, who hit the 1st home run today for the Racers way back in the 1st inning We talked about it. It was a important home run, as it was an extra base hit for the first time in the Super Regional, and they were down 2-0 at the time. And it really sent a message.
It really did, yeah. He announced that Murray State was not going to go quietly into the night.
Duke rallied after getting down 10-3, pulled to within 10-8 coming into this bottom of the 7th. And 9 runs put up on the board here by the Racers. Ground ball to second. This one Berger handles, and that will finally end the inning. 12 hitters come to the plate for the Racers as they have opened up a huge lead in Durham. And they kept rounding the bases. And now Duke down to its last 6 outs, down a ton.
Fire it up.
The all-new Dragon Flame Grilled Whopper is here at BK. Bold, juicy, flame grilled, and ready for adventure. Experience a new kind of flame at Burger King. How to Train Your Dragon, coming to theaters June 13th.
At Planet Fitness, there's a number of ways to get strong, and they all add up to one membership, the Planet Fitness Black Card. Access any location, bring a friend anytime, and recover in the Black Card Spa.
One more, everybody.
We're all strong on this planet, Planet Fitness.
All I wanted to do was help kids and families. Bank of America was just so important with getting things started.
I feel we are growing together with Bank of America.
Had the opportunity to meet with Bank of America. That's what lifts communities like ours.
What would you like the power to do? Bank of America. Contact one of our local business specialists at bankofamerica.com/local business.
The NCAA Super Regionals presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet? And in part by McDonald's. He's Greg Olson. I'm Clay Matvick here in Durham, North Carolina, where the Racers of Murray State, the Thoroughbreds, the Breads, whatever you want to call them, showing a ton of heart here in Game 2 of the Super Regional. Got beat yesterday, 7-4. Facing elimination today. And put on a hitting clinic, 19 runs, 16 hits. And Duke will send Ben Rounds to the plate, and he is saying Duke is not done. Leadoff homer in the 8th for Ben Rounds. His 9th home run of the year. And now it's 19-9.
I was wondering how Graham Kellum was going to react after a long, long half inning. Comes out, got a big lead, so he's going to try to get ahead early with a predictable fastball, and Ben Rounds is going, yep, nope, I've seen that.
You know, Ben Rounds, as Chris Pollard will tell you, he's at his best when he doesn't try to pull the ball. That was a perfect example of that right there.
Yeah, really has pop to all fields, but he's at his best when he's working the left center gap.
Here's a chopper off the bat of Tyler Albright. Cunningham, who homered last inning, throws across, and Albright is 0 for 4. One down.
Now batting the designated.
So Murray State still has 5 outs to get, but looking ahead to tomorrow and a potential Game 3. How are you seeing the pitching matchup sizing up?
Oh, you got Henry Zitkowski for Duke. He got into the 5th inning last week in Game 3. Threw pretty well, 4 1/3. 2 earned runs, did well. And then on the other side for Murray State, Kane Elmy has been their number 3 guy all year long, threw very well in the Oxford Regional. So going to have a good pitching matchup. It's just going to be, you know, how much can Kellum come back as a closer after 3 innings. I'm sure they would love to get him out of there, but you don't want to take the chance on taking your best guy out. And so that's going to be the issue tomorrow, is what's the bullpen going to look like for Murray State.
Breaking ball, strike 3, froze Sam Harris, had no chance and he knew it. That's that big shape to that breaking ball we've been talking about for Graham Kellum.
Nice looking Uncle Charlie or Yellow Hammer, whatever you want to name the 12-6 curveball, but good shape, late break, big depth on it.
2 outs, and here's Macon Winslow. 2 for 3 today. Duke's everyday catcher all season long. Jack Coombs Field much quieter than it was in the 6th inning when Duke scored 5 to make it a 2-run game. A 9-run inning will take the start shot. 2-0 popped up. Carrying now. The breeze is still blowing out to right field. Dustin Mercer has it. And despite the home run, Kellum makes it pretty uninteresting in the 8th. It's a 10-run lead for Murray State.
Fire it up.
The all-new Dragon Flame Grilled Whopper is here at BK. Bold, juicy, flame grilled, and ready for adventure. Experience a new kind of flame at Burger King. How to Train Your Dragon, coming to theaters June 13th.
At Planet Fitness, there's a number of ways to get strong, and they all add up to one membership, the Planet Fitness Black Card. Access any location, bring a friend anytime, and recover in the Black Card Spa.
One more, everybody.
We're all strong on this planet, Planet Fitness.
All I wanted to do was help kids and families. Bank of America was just so important with getting things started.
I feel we are growing together with Bank of America.
Had the opportunity to meet with Bank of America. That's what lifts communities like ours.
What would you like the power to do? Bank of America. Contact one of our local business specialists at bankofamerica.com/local business.
Drive with confidence in a new SUV from Woodhouse Nissan. Like the versatile 2025 Nissan Rogue, designed for comfort, technology, and adventure. Serving our metro for over 20 years, this is Woodhouse Nissan.
Catcher.
College World Series starts on Friday. The bracket is starting to take a little bit of shape. Not on this side quite yet. But on the other side, we know that Coastal Carolina, which beat Auburn, the Auburn Super Regional, is in. And Louisville getting very close as the Cardinals are 1 out away in their Super Regional Series against Miami. Meanwhile, here in Durham, Duke was 1 win away today from punching a ticket to the College World Series, but they're down 10 in the 8th inning as Max Stammel comes on for the 18th time this year, and guess what? He's left-handed.
It's unbelievable how many lefties they got on this roster. Fastball's 88-92, slider, changeup, really high swing and miss rate on his off-speed pitches.
Eighth pitcher today for Duke. 5 have been left-handed. Kyle Johnson got the start and wasn't the outing he had hoped for. Gave up 5 runs in 3 innings. Backhanded it short. Wallace Clark not picked at first by Hyde. I'm not sure who's that's on. The throw wasn't perfect, but Jake Hyde usually pretty sure-handed at first.
3rd error of the game. About as routine as it gets on a ground ball to shortstop. The throw takes Hyde a little bit off the bag, but you can see that his momentum had him going towards home plate. He was unable to put the brakes on. Should go down as an E6.
Yeah, I think they're going to give it to the first baseman. Yeah, they did. I think that's a tough error on Hyde. I thought the throw was the problem.
The throw was a problem. If the throw was on line, he catches it, and there's no problem. We've had a couple things where I'm like not quite seeing it on the same page as our scorer here.
Carson Garner at the plate. That is the 3rd error today for Duke. After going all of their NCAA tournament games up to now without an error, including yesterday. Garner's 1 for 3. Chops it to the right side. Nobody's there because of the shift. And safe. Boy, Garner couldn't have put it anywhere better against that shift.
Absolutely perfect, and that was what he was trying to do. And Stammel was trying to work him inside with a fastball, which so he would hit it into the shift. You can see the inside-out swing. Stammel can't get off the mound fast enough. Too long of a run for Berger.
New catcher in the ball game as well. Andrew Yu has come in, the senior from Nashville, one of the captains for the Blue Devils. So 2 on, nobody out for Murray State, as they have 17 hits now after that infield single by Garner. This is Oxford all over again for the Racers. This is what they did all weekend last weekend. Just big offensive numbers. Yesterday was an anomaly.
I feel like it was, but I mean, they still ended up getting 9 hits, you know, which is a pretty decent day for most teams. They just couldn't string them together, and they didn't get any walks.
Berger flips to second for 1, to first, double, no, safe. Boy, that was close. Murray State able to stay out of the double play as Decker hustled down to first.
I love the effort. 19-9. Decker is not going to let this be a double play. Pretty clean turn.
Number 25, Luke Mastoni.
So now runners at the corners. And this is Luke Mastoni. He'll sky this one to short center field. Coming in is A.J. Gracia, makes the catch, tagging, but then putting on the brakes is Mercer. Anthony Ortega, the third base coach, saying, no, let's stay right there. So there are 2 down.
Now batting the catcher, number 17, Will Veerling.
Nice job by Stammel. Settled in. Feel like he could have had the first 2 guys out easily. Having runners on first and second, gets a double play ball, doesn't quite get that. Gets a pop-up into shallow center field. Still has not given up a run, and anything that happens now is going to be unearned.
6th plate appearance for the catcher, Will Veerling, in the 6 hole. And he's had a nice day. 3 hits, a couple of doubles. He has driven in 4. Well, for the first time since 2019, the Louisville Cardinals are going to Omaha. Congratulations to Dan McDonnell and the Cardinals out of the ACC.
Good baseball team getting healthy and hot at the right time.
Line drive right into the glove of Jake Hyde. He'll make the catch. And so his error goes unnoticed in the box score at the end of the game.
The new How to Train Your Dragon menu is now at BK. Get it before it disappears. Oh, toothless. Bold, tasty, and dangerously delicious. How to Train Your Dragon. Coming to theaters June 13th.
Sunshine came softly through my window today. When you've made your mind up forever to be mine.
There's a kind of magic to making memories, to finding time for the little things and the big things, the new things, and the things you'll do over and over again. It's the magic of a job well done and a well-deserved day of rest, of living life to the fullest with the people you'd never want to live without. Fairway, closed on...
Time for our Capital One rewarding performance. How about that 7th inning for Murray State? Duke had pulled to within 2, 10-8, but then the Racers in the 7th score 9 times, 6 hits. They sent 12 to the plate and all but put this one away.
Yeah, they opened it up, and this is what they needed to do. It was getting a little tight here at crunch time, and the offense just blows it open.
Here's Dan Skirka. 7th-year head coach, has to be proud with the response throughout the day today. As Duke is going to send up a pinch hitter to start the inning. Here's little Skirk getting cooled off because the Racers are so hot. This is Noah Murray, who's going to bat for the first time in the Super Regional. Noah Murray played third in the regional final because of Ben Miller's injury. You might remember that. His brother Ethan was at Duke for Chris Pollard, now in the Brewers organization. Nice bat to have coming off the bench.
And I appreciate Coach Pollard getting these guys, him and Andrew Yu behind the plate, getting them a little bit of work. They've been here all year long and put in the work, giving them a bat in this Super Regional.
Now, another thing to keep an eye on here, Greg, is Graham Kellum. He's the closer for the Racers. Pitch count is, 23. That's pretty light at this point. You got to be thinking that if he can keep this to a pretty quick 9th inning, we could see him again tomorrow.
Yeah, and I mean, it's kind of one of those where it's like a 10-run lead. Maybe take him out, not let him start the 9th inning, but me as a former closer, like, okay, I'm out here and I did the work in the main part of the game. Give me the save.
Right.
But looking ahead to tomorrow, if this pitch count gets a little bit more involved, those guys are probably coming in.
It's a pop. It's going to drift on a play. 2-2 here to Murray. There's Dan Skirka, and there's his closer. And already I'm sure some thoughts going into what's going to happen tomorrow. Probably wouldn't admit that, but he's only human. There's Cunningham with another strong throw from short. 1 up, 1 down here in the 9th, and now Murray State 2 outs away from forcing a Game 3 on Monday.
Now batting the shortstop, number 7, Wallace Clark.
Back to the top of the order here in Wallace Clark. Clark hit a home run in the 3rd inning. That's when Duke pulled to within 2 at that point. It was 5-3. Ooh, that came off the catcher, Will Vierling. Shaken up a bit, and the umpire's going to give him some time to catch his breath. We mentioned this earlier. You pointed this out, that Murray State was physically exhausted yesterday after a long game, a game where they were playing catch-up all game. obviously they got some great rest at the hotel. You know, we heard that Kyle Johnson for Duke had an IV after the game. You got to wonder if some of these guys didn't get the necessary fluids, the proper rest, because today they came back with a vengeance.
Yeah, they really did. Dan Skirka was kind of regretting his physical workout that they had on Friday. And he said that. He goes, if I had to do it over again, I think it would have taken it a lot easier on him on Friday. Not knowing what to expect with the humidity, the heat on this AstroTurf. And he said most of our guys were just out at 8 p.m.
Out, not on the town.
Out
in
not
bed.
out on the town. They were out, lights out. They were dead asleep.
And the umpire making the adjustments there. 0-2 to Wallace Clark. Did that hit him? Yes, it did. So Clark is aboard with 1 out. And here comes Dan Skirka. Yeah, that's going to do it for Kellum. I think he's thinking ahead to tomorrow. Or wait, is he asking for a review? Oh, I thought he was coming out for a pitching change.
I think he wants to have a look at this curveball to the foot. Kind of odd reactions, but Clark right away dropped the bat and was starting to walk down. Greg Harmon said, all right, I'm going to say that hit you.
And he came over and asked the other 3 umpires what they saw. Now they're going to go to review. Here's another look. As Clark was hit by a pitch, according to Greg Harmon, the home plate umpire, did it hit his toe, that front toe?
I'm going to say yes. Let's check the baseball. There should be a little bit of a blue dye on it.
I think it hit him too. I think it did.
You can see this little scrape where the ball changes the angle.
Yeah, it changed direction for sure.
And that other look that we got shows that it was actually right close to the top of the foot. So those 2 looks combined. I always hated hitting guys on the foot with a curveball. Yeah, see right there, look at the reaction of Clark. You know, there's no thought process of like, oh, you know what, I'm going to act like this hit me. It was just right away he came up and was like, yep. Could have sold it a little bit better when hopping around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's an element of acting to this if you're going to do it right.
I just watched the reactions, and right away he came up and was tossing the bat towards the dugout and starting to walk towards first base.
So the call on the field, hit by pitch. We'll see if it stands. Looks like we're ready for a call here.
The call of hit by pitch stands. Murray State is out of challenges.
All right, so it was Dan Skirka coming out to challenge, not to make a pitching change.
Yeah.
The initial body language looked like that was a pitching change. Now we're going to get a pinch runner for Duke as Andrew Bell is going to come out and run for Clark. So a man on with 1 out. And this is A.J. Gracia at the plate, who's 1 for 2.
29, A.J. Gracia.
Well, the other factor of this thing, Clay, is when you get your closer here, he might be called on to ask to face these guys tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And so the familiarity that the Duke hitters are going to have now against the Murray State best reliever, closer, is going to go advantage Duke. So usually first time facing you, The advantage from my mind is the pitcher. Pitcher has the advantage because you haven't seen me before. You don't know what I'm going to try to do. Next day, same thing.
Runner goes, the 1-1 foul back. Bell was off with the pitch. Now 1-2 to Gracia. Gracia has had a pretty good day in his first game of the Super Regional. Remember, he was suspended yesterday for game 1 because of the celebration in the regional. And home run prop out on the field, which is a no-no. Breaking ball, the 1-2 out of play. And he has made an impact in this game, no doubt about it. That home run in the first got Duke on the board. Scored in the 6th, part of that 5-run inning. It's a big miss there, 2-2. Duke down to its last 2 outs. And another foul. Remember, Duke got out to a slow start this year. 5-5 in the month of February. Took a series loss to Cincinnati. Lost a single game to Cornell. Also lost midweeks to Campbell and Liberty. They were 5-5 in February. Got swept at Stanford in mid-March. But then shortly after that, something clicked. They got it going. I mean, they had some down moments in the first 5-6 weeks of the season. But Chris Pollard's bunch, after all, you know, they're a blue-collar group. They've shown some grit and determination. They're going to have to do that again here after this one's over.
Well, they really feel like they got exposed by Cincinnati in the run game. So they're like, all right, we need to fix this. And then very analytical group on the coaching staff and on the team got together, started putting some things together, really worked on controlling the running game. That part clicked. And then a bigger piece is moving Pruksch into the rotation from the bullpen. So you get your best arm now on Friday night.
Gracia trying to run up the pitch count here on Kellum and take him out of commission for tomorrow. Pitch count approaching 40 now. 3-2. And another foul ball.
And Gracia has spoiled a lot of good pitches, good swings, a lot of a Christian Yelich kind of look at the plate approach.
Kellum 2 1/3, 1 run, 1 hit. Couple of strikeouts. And another one lined into foul ground. This is pitch number 12 of the at-bat coming to A.J. Gracia. Oh, you all right there, buddy? It doesn't matter. Even if he's hurt, he's not going to show it. He's got the ball. Swung out and missed. Kellum gets the strikeout. Gracia, after a 12-pitch at bat, finally can sit down. But there are 2 outs now for Duke. Down to their last out.
Third baseman, number 34, Ben Miller.
As this game went sideways for them in the bottom of the 7th. And Murray State scored 9. And the Racers out of the Missouri Valley Conference, 1 out away from playing on Monday.
No surprise, this offense has been really good in the postseason and all year long. It showed up huge in a couple of big innings today.
Ground ball should end the ball game. Backhanded by Cunningham. And Murray State, impressive, 19 runs to force game 3. Kellum with a 3-inning save, his 8th of the year. Silva gets the victory. And the Murray State Racers add to their program record of victories here in 2025. Win number 43 They're 28th in the last 34 games, and there will be another day for Racers baseball this season.
Offense was really, really good. They were on time. Finally were able to string together some hits, extra base hits. They got damaged. All started off with Hogart in the first pitch, bomb. And after that, this Murray State team was on a roll.
Van Skurka and the Racers win it 19-9, series tied at a game apiece. Tomorrow it will be for all the marbles. Game time and network to be determined. But what will be at stake tomorrow is a College World Series appearance. Murray State trying to get there for the first time. Duke trying to end a 64-year drought without going to Omaha. That's going to do it. We'll be back here tomorrow for the third and exciting game. For Greg Olson and our entire crew, I'm Clay Matvick. We hope you enjoyed it. 19-9, the Racers celebrate a Game 2 victory in Durham.